talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
I'm Ben Fletcher. Good afternoon. We're told Hugo Ekitike could be out for 9 months with a ruptured Achilles. That means he'll miss the World Cup. What could this mean for Liverpool's forward line, though? Former Red Danny Murphy's told talkSPORT with Isak off the boil, the out-of-form Gakpo might have to play up top.
You've got Ngamo who can come in, Salah can play on the right. You've still got Chiesa there if you need him. There's options. You know, compared to some of the teams in the Prem, they're not short on top quality. But long term, you mean next season, you'll look, there's going to have to be some form of replacement for Salah.
Fresh questions over Arne Slot's future, with Liverpool's hopes of a trophy dashed for another season. Some say Stevie G should come and replace him. What does talkSPORT's Simon Jordan make of that?
When I keep on listening to this nonsense, this immature nonsense about bringing Steven Gerrard in. On what basis? You saw, with all respect to his mate, you saw him at Aston Villa. He couldn't do it. And the other fella walked through the door and turned the light on.
Tonight, Arsenal look to get their rapidly derailing season back on track at home to Sporting Lisbon. We bring you live Champions League commentary here on talkSPORT. England fans are slating another World Cup rip-off as it's reported train fares to the Panama game in New Jersey will cost £74. They usually cost £13. The Football Supporters Association's Fans Embassy are asking what on earth is going on. And in an interview with the ECB, Ben Stokes says he's lucky to be alive.
Might not be here doing this interview if I didn't turn my head round. Yeah, so all things considered, although I had pretty major facial surgery to sort it out, it was a bit of a mess under here. I've got out quite lucky.
Stokes took a cricket ball to the face at Durham back in February. He's already putting a plan together for England's Test summer, though. Fast bowler Bryden Carse could be a major doubt for that, in New Zealand in particular, having left the IPL with a hand injury. There's more on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel.
talkSPORT. With QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Head to Times or Talk if you want your news, I guess. As for the weather, rain and showers moving east across the country. Showers heavy at times. Warmer in the sunnier spells later on, and it is staying breezy.
Hello, you're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. Hawksby and Jacobs for the Fizzy Cola bottle generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
Hi, Max. You're a good egg. We'll kick off today with 5-time league winner Liverpool's Mark Lawrenson. He gives us his thoughts on last night's Champions League exit at the hands of PSG. Spanish football expert Terry Gibson will look back on a brilliant game between Atleti and Barca and look ahead to Real Madrid tonight.
Comedian and Arsenal fan Jacob Hawley will see if the Gunners can get back on the horse against Sporting later. We'll cross to the States in the longest ever build-up to the World Cup ever. Welsh rugby legend Gareth Thomas joins us, and the historian David Olusoga is here to talk about sandwiches. Of course he is.
What's the best sandwich? What's the best sandwich? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Is that? I mean, we haven't discussed this.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That a text topic?
Yeah, sure.
But that is a sort of thing that
Ham and
will fill
mustard
the
on
text
white.
board.
Ham and mustard on white. Lovely. We'll do some EFL. Some big results last night. John Joe Shelby has announced his retirement and he's become a new manager in the UAE. And we'll ask him about that. And we'll have a brand new quiz. We welcome you to the Wheelie Good Footballer game. You need to know the names of 5 footballers if you want to play it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Afternoon, Max. Yeah, new game.
I mean, I would have said there was a time when it was cheese and pickle, and then I had a real sort of chicken mayo phase.
Really?
And
a bit too white chicken mayo, isn't it? Very bland sandwich. Bit of pepper in it, maybe.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's chicken mayo and there's chicken mayo,
Yeah,
right?
of course,
Isn't
yeah.
it? I'm talking an elite, artisan, perhaps on a sort of
Chicken
sourdough
avocado,
batter.
that's nice.
I think that's a bit sloppy.
You can't beat plain white bread, like normal white bread, butter, ham, a little bit of mustard. That cannot be beaten as a sandwich.
Do you know what this
Maybe
feels
a bit
like
of
to
roast
me?
beef and horseradish.
This feels to me like breakfast show guest hasn't turned up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what it feels
sandwich,
like to me.
We're about 1 minute away from sandwich footballers.
Okay, go on then. It doesn't matter. I don't mind.
I don't mind.
People
yeah.
will like it, won't they? I think
Brian
people will
Cobby.
like it.
There we are, Cobby.
Okay. Oh yeah, very good. Anyway, Liv, what you wanted to do a text topic today?
I did.
You've got a really good idea.
I met a hero yesterday, Max. I met Alan Shearer yesterday, and when you work in this game, as I appear to
in show business, everything is show business, of course.
Everything is show business. Sports media game, though, you often meet heroes. We're about to talk to Mark Lawrenson, who was on my wall as a child in the.
Was he?
In that 80s.
A poster of him, or was he?
Not just him. Not just a big picture of Mark Lawrenson on my wall as a 10-year-old.
Okay. Did you have one of those, like a...
I had a team,
Did you have like
I had
a
a team
whole...
poster of Liverpool, Hansen, Lawrenson.
It wasn't like
Steve
a shrine.
Nicol, Ronnie Whelan.
Yeah. Not a shrine to Loro.
No.
Like just lots of Mark Lawrensons, a big moustache on your bedroom door.
Yeah,
exactly.
Some player.
You had like people used to paint Loro on your chest as well.
Yeah.
We shouldn't mention this before the interview.
Tattooed on my eyelids, Mark Lawrenson.
It's hard on. You need one eye to be. Fortunately for you, you have one thin eye and one quite long eye, and so. But that's difficult for people.
Both. Yeah, I could fit
exactly.
Both.
It's much easier if you prefer a short-named footballer like Wim Jonk, my favourite player. You can fit them both easily.
Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. Fine for one eye.
Yeah.
The other eye has to be very, very long. It sort of goes round to your ear.
A really long eye. Yeah. Anyway.
David Butty. Thank you, Guy in the Isle of Man.
Thanks so
very
much.
Nice.
Anyway, you met Alan Shearer.
I met Alan Shearer.
How was he? Was he all right? Did he know you were?
Very nice man. Very nice man. Looked super smart. Was in a really cool camel suede jacket.
What was the situation? Where were you both in middle?
I was on BBC. I was on Breakfast News yesterday.
Wow. And they must have been absolutely. Well, they really
desperate.
Scraping the barrel for stories.
Really desperate. Really desperate. And so
what were you doing? Were you doing Iran? Were you doing the Straits of Hormuz?
Yeah, that's where they've got me in as their Middle East correspondent. So. Times are hard.
I'm saying, frankly, I've been pretty much in favour of the licence fee, but now you're the Middle Eastern correspondent. I've got to say, I've got to question the decision makers at the top of the BBC.
I was surprised to get the call, if I'm honest.
You were like Guy Gomer.
I don't really know anything about. I don't really know anything about it, if I'm honest. So.
I'd really just rather drive the Uber home, to be honest. You've got the wrong guy. Okay, so you're on BBC Breakfast with Alan Shearer?
Well, no. I was there to talk about something else completely. Parenting children through their GCSEs, I was there to talk about.
Oh, okay.
And also to promote my tour, Go Get It. Tickets available September to May next year. And Alan walked in the green room.
Okay.
And, of course, I know immediately who that is because...
Yeah, of course, Alan Shearer's got his face.
In your daydreams... Since the 90s,
of course,
dreaming of Alan scoring against Holland or whatever, in Euro 96, just being able to volley it or header it like Alan Shearer. Surely that's a dream come true for anyone. So and I went, "Oh, hello, Alan," thinking, "Oh, I don't."
Yeah.
Shook his hand, but then he seemed to know our work, Max. He seemed to know, be a bit of a listener.
Okay.
So, that was,
did he like? What did he say?
Go get it. I thought he'd say.
Did he say? Did he say? Well, I mean, the real dream is he went autobiography. Did he say that?
Autobiography wars. Yeah.
How did you discern that he knew who you were?
Well, I said I'm Charlie, and he went, "Yeah, I know who you are." So that was nice of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good.
That was nice.
Quite threatening at the same time. It's nice, but also threatening.
I know who you are. yeah. Well, I know where you live. Anyway, we had a little bit of a chat, a bit of a football chat, sort of.
Okay.
And then I nearly got a photo, but I thought, no, I'm in a professional situation. I'm a professional sports guy. Professional sports guy. He's I can't just be asking everyone for a photo.
You're absolutely right. He's probably somewhere now. He's on whatever podcast he's on. The rest is football.
Yeah.
Saying, I didn't ask Charlie for a photo. I should have asked Charlie.
Yeah.
I should have asked Charlie for a photo. But
I think we should both stop.
It's really not.
We should both stop with the accent.
So many goals.
Anyway, that's how I met Alan Shearer, and he was very nice. And I just
Okay.
thought a really good text topic would be, I met
it's a clever one, isn't it?
Alan Shearer. Very clever. I met
very
Alan
clever for
Shearer,
us.
and this is where and how I met
Yeah.
Alan Shearer.
So
8, 10,
Charlie's
89.
text topic is, yesterday I met Alan Shearer. When did you meet Alan Shearer? I see how you've got there. It's really, that's what they want from this show, like a sideways
they like
look
the
at things.
creativity of the
Yeah,
whole thing.
think outside the box. But Alan didn't think outside the box, did he? Rarely.
Exactly.
He always thought inside the box.
Inside the box.
That's where he was.
Whack.
So we're doing
In.
Yeah. So there you go. Charlie met Alan Shearer. When did you meet Alan Shearer? And I suppose we need as many details as possible: location, time,
Yeah, we need
mood, all those kind of
mood's
things.
good. Yeah, mood's good. Yeah.
And obviously Alan is welcome to ring.
Alan might be listening now.
'Cause
he might
he
be
meets
listening, and then
himself
he'll go,
every
"That's
day-
not how I
every
remember
day."
it at all."
He'll be like, I spoke to a man who I thought was in the Super Mario Brothers movies.
thought it's a me, Mary. I thought you said... Imagine if they
there
got
we
me
go.
on. Mate, they got me on to promote the new Super Mario film. They didn't. They didn't. That's not what I was on.
Could have done both. Could have done both. Who's hosting that these days?
It was Sally Nugent
Oh yeah.
and John. I'm going to say Kay.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
hoping,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I think I
hoping
know the
that's
one.
his name.
Okay. Right. That's a one in the eye for him.
But
isn't
obviously,
it? You know?
listen to the talkSPORT breakfast show because it's
While you were doing it. Yeah. Sandwich burger from Remy. Is that Patrick
John
Burger?
Sarni Risa. That's very good, Dougie. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, really nice. BL Thierry Henry, Leroy Sani, of course.
I feel like we've done it before now. Now I've heard Leroy Sani. I feel like we've done
Adam
it
says,
before.
of course, Max Rushden is in favour of the licence fee. Absolutely. I was thinking about this as how, this is Woke Wednesdays, of course.
Yeah, Woke
But my young son, Ian, is into nail polish.
Good.
And he was like, can I paint your nails? I said, you can paint my toenails. I thought that's as woke as I want to be.
Oh, really?
But then he went on to paint my fingernails. I'd like the listeners to all know that this show is as woke as it could possibly be, as I have glittery nail polish.
Yes, woke as possible. I like it.
There you go.
Very good.
So if and good for Ian. It's something
Good
he
for
likes
it.
to
Look,
do.
He wants to go for it. Getting it off is always difficult, I find.
Is it?
Yeah, you need
Fine.
a good acetone based nail
I'll let
polish
them all-
remover.
I've got a strong one. I've
Look,
found one of them.
Alan and Ray covered that this morning though, so let's not.
Did they? Lucas Baguetta. Really good stuff. Ryan says, I met Alan Shearer at his annual springtime sheep shearing festival, of course. Mood was good. My memory of the day is a little woolly. Come on, Ryan.
Lovely,
We're not going to
Ryan.
read
Thank
that sort of nonsense out.
We don't read
Dave
it
says,
out.
please bring back Autobiography Wars. Gemma Collins has 17 released sinch you stopped.
World
Could
Cup.
do an entire...
There's big chat of World Cup autobiography wars, isn't there, Max?
Well, there
You
is,
never
isn't there?
know.
Because how tall are they is coming to an end, a climax. I was going to say an end, a climax, of course. But we have to get through the third, fourth playoff between Quaker Fire and Perry Groves until we can get to the final, which is the Judge versus Nigel Adderley. Of course it is. Anyway, Charlie met Alan Shearer. When did you meet Alan Shearer? And we'll speak to Mark Lawrenson next. You are listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Check out their wide range of garden power tool brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation.
Do you think Arteta's too pragmatic, Simon? Is this going to be the difference as to who ends up winning it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he says to the players in the dressing room, but clearly, I do think the coach's responsibility is if he's not actually kicking a ball. It's his responsibility to set the players up mentally and structurally to be able to do it in a fashion that produces the best outcome. And I use the word navigate at the beginning of this section because that's what I think Arsenal are trying to do. They're trying to navigate their way through games, not impose themselves on games, not take control of the game, not to be bold, not to be fearsome, fearless. In their and their reaction to circumstances. Now, when they went away to Sporting, it was the perfect time to not be bold because they were trying to manage a European game, and they got praise from me last week, and people criticised them because it was considered to be a workmanlike performance. But a 1-0 away result in a European game is a good result. Now they'll bounce back tomorrow or Wednesday whenever they're playing against Sporting and produce an outcome again. I think everything will be revealed on Sunday when they play Manchester City.
The question is, they'll be bold then when they play City.
Oh no, they won't be daft. No. They'll do what they normally do. The question is, if Arsenal were 3 or 6 points behind City when they played Bournemouth at home at the weekend, what would they have done different? Yeah. They would have committed. They'd have played quicker, more urgency. They would have got more men forward earlier in the game. They would have gone after them.
Feels like Arsenal have something to lose rather than something to win.
Well, it's a bit like Rory with a six-shot lead, wasn't it?
Yes.
That dwindled on day 3.
Yeah. So that begs the question then, who are Arsenal's biggest opponents in this?
Liverpool are still in the tie. 2 down going into the quarter-final second leg against the European champions Paris Saint-Germain.
Liverpool have got a penalty.
I think it's going to be soft if it's given.
And he has overturned it, in fact. Liverpool 0, PSG 1. It's Ousmane Dembele who's got it.
I think the goalkeeper can do a little bit better.
Liverpool 0, PSG 2. And it's the Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele who's doubled his and his side's tally. Liverpool 0, PSG 2. PSG progress 4-0 on aggregate.
Liverpool are out. The European champions are through.
They were outclassed tonight, Liverpool.
I think his time's up.
Mate, I'm absolutely sick of all this lot.
He has to go now.
We weren't able to score from the many chances we had, but the future looks very bright for this club because we've shown that we can compete with the champions of Europe.
So you've got 6 games to go. Big derby game on Sunday. Focus on that because it's a huge game for Liverpool.
It is a huge game, isn't it? I mean, Everton could finish above Liverpool this season. They went out of the Champions League 2-0 to PSG. They were better than last week. The bar was pretty low, though, wasn't it? Let's talk to a man who won the league 5 times with Liverpool, Mark Lawrenson. Hey, Laura, you okay?
I'm all good. Recovered
from last night?
Recovered. By the way, to be honest with you, last night, that was one of the much better performances. Mm-hmm. But then, then you're glossing over the fact that in the first leg, it could have been 5 or 6, couldn't it?
Yeah, easily. I think so. I mean, I thought PSG were sensational in the first leg, and I thought they, it's obviously different when you go into a game 2-0 up. But from a Liverpool point of view, they had that one moment in the first half where Safanov makes a great save and Marquinhos makes a brilliant block, and Liverpool did have so much pressure in the second half, but they didn't really create anything in that time, I thought.
No, they didn't. I would agree with it. And, when you talk about PSG as well, it is they love defending, those guys at the back, and they were brilliant. I think that's why they'll go on and win the competition. But the thing with Liverpool is that they had that urgency last night, but when you actually sit down and think about it, yes, they didn't create too many chances, but where's that been? Where has that been for nearly all of the season? I think that's why, I hear some of the messages there that get him out and all those kind of things, one thing and another. I think the problem is that he just can't replicate that. And if it's Saturday, isn't it, the game against Everton, and look, if we get dumped there, then the place is going to stink, isn't it?
Yeah, Sunday, 2 p.m. Sunday.
Sorry, all right.
The game. No, that's all good.
You could feel you could feel the crowd last night, willing them on, willing them to win. Really getting behind, being very positive about their performance. Yet every time it got near the box or into the box, someone would shoot. It would go over. It would go wide. The crosses into the box weren't anything. Salah was slightly off it again. It was.
Well, yes.
It wouldn't happen, would it? It wouldn't happen.
No, I mean, everybody knows with Salah that he's lost his pace, unfortunately. I was on here the other week, and, as anyone will tell you who's been in that position, once your legs go, they go. They don't come back. There's no miracle where you get them back and stuff. And, but I think, the other thing is we have to praise the way that PSG defend. They're absolutely brilliant. They're the best team in terms of, for the last 10 years, just playing that way, because the way that they defend then gives so many options to the midfield players and the forwards, and they're just a very, very good team, by the way, with an outstanding coach, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, and actually he's done a great job where so many people before him have failed, because they are, they have some brilliant footballers, but they work as a team, and that midfield is brilliant. And Dembele, that is the moment. I thought Charlie Adam was perhaps a bit harsh on Mamardashvili. I just thought it was an absolutely brilliant piece of centre-forward play that you didn't see at the other end yesterday.
Yeah, well, you kind of knew when the ball was played, so you were thinking, it's one of them, wasn't it? But, and the thing about Dembele as well is, yes, he's an outstanding goal scorer. He worked his socks off. He really seriously worked his socks off. And they all did. When the subs come on as well, they're throwing themselves in front of everybody, and must be a fantastic team to play in. Absolutely brilliant. Really seriously is. I can't see anybody beating them from this now.
I don't know if you agree with this at all, or that they've spent a lot of money. Liverpool have spent a lot of money on players who were very good at their previous clubs and have come in and haven't quite hit the ground running. The one they've missed out on is Mark Gahey.
Yeah,
and I feel like that has really proved to be a massive miss, because how good he's been at Man City, but also exactly what Liverpool need.
Oh, 100%, absolutely, 100%. And it looked for a while, we were hearing certainly that he was going to go to Liverpool, and then all of a sudden it completely changed, and that scuppered their plans. And the other thing as well with Liverpool is that the young Italian guy they've got, he's going to be an absolute outstanding player, but of course he's coming seriously injured as well, so he's not played. So he's not been lucky, the manager, with injuries. But listen, everybody gets them, and you just got to deal with it as well. I mean, look at Ekitike as well last night. I mean, I finished playing because I did exactly the same that he did last night. I could never recover, because obviously many years ago they looked at you and went, you might as well chuck him in the bin, because he's not going to be able to run anymore. And he has been unfortunate in that, but you just got to deal with it. You really seriously have.
I hope with all your honours and medals they'd have given you like a cushioned bin, Loro, not just a regular wheelie bin.
It's a wheelie bin. It's a big wheelie bin. They didn't have to bend me over into two. They just chucked me straight in it.
What do you think? Lots of question marks about Arne Slot's future.
Yes.
Do you think he can salvage it at the end of the season? If he goes on a good run, they qualify for the Champions League, do you think that will be enough for him?
Arguably not. No, I don't think so. I would have thought that the Council of War are already thinking and plotting what they're going to do. I I just don't see it, you know. And I have to go back to, obviously, the manager before, who shall be nameless, who was brilliant. He managed to get his players to play like Liverpool did last week, every single game. Every single, very, very rare did he come into them and say, look, you're not at it, boys. They were always at it. And it just with Arnie, I'm just afraid, and I hate saying, you know, well, he's going to have to lose his job and stuff, but the outcome is he's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
And, you know, even if they beat Arsenal, even if they beat Everton, you know, and I think there's a war party out somewhere where they'll be having all sorts of ideas about who to bring in if possible and all those kind of things, which is a bit tough. But hey, he's had a crack at it, and there's not many people say he can win the league, is there?
That is true. Laura, always good to chat.
Thanks, Laura, and thanks for out mustaching me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've just trimmed it this morning.
Oh, he looks amazing. It looks amazing, Mark.
Happy days. I'll be frightening all the kids next week.
Now you look fantastic.
We'll fish you out. We'll fish you out of the bin again soon and get you on. Cheers, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
You're so kind.
Mark Lawrenson there. This is from Andrew discussing the required eye sizes for tattooing footballers' names. Is really setting the bar high for this show, Max. What's the subject? This is when did you meet Alan? Charlie met Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer, yeah.
Afternoon, Max and Charlie. I met Alan Shearer when he came to our factory in South Shields. Our MD was Barry, who was a director at Newcastle as well as our owner, and he brought Shearer to meet everyone. I was wearing my Man United hat, which brought a smile to his face, and I wished him well for the season. There are a few Sunderland fans that didn't shake his hand, though. There we go.
You'd shake Shearer's hand, even if you're a Sunderland fan.
No, I like that.
Okay.
No, I think that's absolutely what you should do.
Here we go. I met Alan Shearer when he was doing his coaching badges back in 06, 07. It was at Airdrie FC, and I was a YTS with Hibs. Other coaches were Billy Dodds and Colin Hendry. Imagine that. Shearer joined in an 11v11 shape game, and he set me up to score in the practice game. As a Newcastle fan, my life was complete. That's from Ben. Thanks, Ben.
Oh, that's really good. I met Alan Shearer when I played against him at Ewood Park. It was 92-93 Premier League season, Wimbledon versus Blackburn. My job was to mark him on corners.
Oh, who's this from?
This is from Greg. Greg the Wimbledon player in 92-93.
That's true.
Let's find out. Sort of Alan Kimball years. Was it for Wimbledon? Who was centre backs there? Lucky me, he was a hero. I was in awe until Vinnie Jones screamed at me, "Just grab him, not bleep him, cuddle him." Cheers, Greg. Oh, look at that.
Who's that? Greg who? Give us your surname, Greg.
I should know this. I should know this.
Greg Berry. Greg
Berry, Wimbledon.
Former English midfielder. He played for Wimbledon FC between 1992 and 1994. Does that work out? It's about right.
Yeah, works perfect.
Yeah. Midfielder, winger.
Maybe the best footballer that's listening to this show right now. If you're better than Greg
Later
Berry,
became a coach, including roles in Canada. There we are. Greg Berry. Okay. If it's not you, Greg, get in touch.
Well, no, I trust Greg.
Yeah.
Don't you? If not, what a brilliant lie. What a brilliant lie to have searched out who was playing for Wimbledon in 92-93. It really is. We'd have to ring him and go through his entire Wikipedia. You know, we haven't got a section for that. But if you have, obviously, Loro scored, but we really called Loro. Greg's got in touch with us. If you are better than Greg Berry at football,
call us.
81089. We'll take it. It'd be good, wouldn't it? If Zinedine Zidane texted in and said, "Love the show."
No pretending.
Zizou.
No pretend. We'll work out.
Come on, we will work it out. No lying, please. 1889 at Max Rushden at Baker Street. Where did you meet Alan Shearer? Terry Gibson, Spanish football expert, will join us in just a second. Athletic Barca was a brilliant game. Real Madrid playing Bayern tonight as well, of course.
Let's talk about the Pards derby. Newcastle came to Crystal Palace. They went 1-0 up, but ended up losing 2-1. Mateta, who's had a good week for Palace, even though he wanted to leave at one point. He's happy to be there now, still kicking the corner flag, doing his thing for Palace, but...
Yeah, he's got this dream of, and he's got this goal to play for France. I mean, when you look, Cherky's French, and all the great players they got. I mean, it does look a long shot for him. But if you give him a chance, and he's timed it well, Glasner, he's put him in that European game. They've not been playing well, and he's come to the fore. And they wouldn't have won these 2 games without him. He's not just the way he plays, it's his personality. I think he's an infectious kind of personality.
Is he better than Dom Solanke?
No, I don't think so. But I think in terms of a presence and a personality in the dressing room, that might make up for a lot of his technical faults, if you know what I mean. But, you can't... He has definitely got minerals.
Delivers as well.
You can see when he takes penalties and stuff, he's out... I don't like to say he's having himself, but he is. And I like that. You need players who've got that about them. And great result for them. Newcastle take the lead, lose. And, one of the things about being manager in Newcastle is that result and that fact that they've turned over a lead again will be absolutely scrutinised to the finest detail and the local radio, local press up there, and nowhere for Eddie to go.
Hugo Ekitike could be out for 9 months with an Achilles injury. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy says it's a huge blow for him, especially ahead of the World Cup.
There was talk that he'd edged his way into the 11 for France. He'd played in the last game, him, Mbappe and I think maybe Dembele. But the reality is this is part of football, and I've devastated for him because he's on such a good run, a good trajectory.
Slot played Ekitike on the right with an out-of-sorts Isak up front in the defeat to PSG. Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool will have to go big again in the summer window.
There's a part of me that thinks that. I mean, obviously, I read between the lines and hear journalists talking about the fact that Liverpool's ownership are not entertaining that idea at this moment in time and wanting to see, to maintain the support of him because of the credit in the bank that he's got for last year.
Now, Man City are believed to have joined the race to sign the next academy prospect from Palmeiras in Brazil. PSG, Chelsea and Barcelona are also keen on the 16-year-old Eduardo Conceição, who's currently tearing up South America's under-17 championship. And Ben Stokes has admitted that he's lucky to be alive.
A couple inches one way or the other. Might not be here doing this interview. Yeah, copped one straight in the face. Pretty nasty, but funnily, probably the best result of a bad situation, to be honest.
This, as it's emerged, Bryden Cast could be a doubt for the start of England's summer campaign. England face New Zealand on June the 4th. Plenty to see on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube.
You laughing at, Charlie?
Oh, nothing. Just what's going on here. Sinead, the newsreader, making me laugh. That's allowed, isn't it?
Good. Yeah, absolutely right.
I
She's
love
going to
talk
do
to
some
other people,
improv
Max.
later.
God.
Do what you like. I'm not
So needy.
Cambridge United have announced the emergency loan signing
Oh.
of Jack Walton, 7-day loan goalkeeper.
They need to.
Our keeper
Oh,
was sent off.
I like a goalkeeper loan. It's good, isn't it? We've
Do you
got
like
one
an
at the moment.
emergency seven?
Seb Stacey, we've got on loan from MK Dons, and he's been brilliant.
7 days
Absolutely
seems-
brilliant.
If I was Jack Walton, do I want to go for you? He plays for Preston for 7 days.
Yeah.
I want to go for 7 days. We've got
Lovely,
Bromley on
7 days
Thursday
in
night.
Cambridge, lovely.
It is massive.
City
it's not
break.
a mini break. It's
Little
not a
city
mini break. He's got to go to Bromley.
Go punting on the river and have some lunch somewhere.
Oh, do you know what? Terry Gibson can help us.
Yes.
Spanish football expert.
Yes.
Joins us to look back at Atleti Barca. Terry, welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I've never heard of a 7-day loan.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem short, doesn't it? But there we are. You know, maybe that's all he needs. It's all he needs. Now, there's a slight echo on your line, but we'll carry on with it, Terry. Are you aware of Greg Berry, who played for Wimbledon, who just texted us?
The name did ring a bell when I heard you mention it. He was after my time, I think. So I can't recollect. But there was 92.
92
to 94, yeah.
92, 93. Okay, good.
It's
Well, we'll
sad
have to
for Greg Berry listening to this. When he's told all his friends about all his mates at Wimbledon, oh, we had a great time, me and the crazy gang, me and the lads, and now here he is being on national radio. No one can remember who he is. It's a nightmare for Greg.
And I was there as well.
You were there.
I was trying to fear to say I wasn't there, but I was.
There we are.
Anyway, let's talk about Atleti. With apologies to Greg, it was a brilliant game last night. Before we get into all the detail, that first half especially, Terry, was brilliant.
It was, and you know, Max, we've been lucky this year in La Liga. I know it's an all-Spanish affair. All the big games have all been like that. We had a 5-2 win for Atletico against Real Madrid. Real Madrid beat Atletico 3-2. We've seen all the Barcelona Atletico matches, 6 of them so far. None of disappointed. And it's just been refreshing to see that there's no stalemates. No one goes away from home and plays for a 0-0 or tries to keep the clean sheet. They've all been like that this season. So there's one Clasico to come. That probably, I thought it was going to be a title decider, but it doesn't appear that's going to be the case now because Real Madrid have faltered. But that last night was fantastic. It was an absolute war, wasn't it? It was the first half, Barcelona getting 2 goals. You're thinking there's only one way this tie's going to turn out. Then, of course, Atletico get one of the few chances they had in 2 legs, but they seem to take them all.
And actually, I mean, there was that moment and that cross from Yamal with the outside of his left foot, and you know Fermin Lopez has the chance, and he's got to score, hasn't he? To make it 3-0. Maybe he doesn't get a boot in the face, then that could change everything.
Yeah, I think he just heads it goalwards, doesn't he? I think he's an attacking midfielder. He's a wide player. I think if that's Lewandowski, he places it in a corner away from the goalkeeper. But I think he probably thought just heading it was going to be enough. For me, it's a penalty all day long. I wouldn't want to be on the end of that if I was a centre forward. And I look upon it as if that was a centre half, an outfield player challenging for any ball like that and catching someone in the face, it's a nailed-on penalty. But people are saying he made the save and then his foot accidentally caught him. That was perhaps it's the bias of being a centre forward, and maybe I've just got a bias against goalkeepers in general. I don't know. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered it actually, and maybe you're right, or maybe Lopez heads his foot. You know, maybe I don't know, but you're right. I think you have a point if it's a centre back in a new way that a follow through can be a foul. I see that. I mean, Barca were brilliant for half an hour, weren't they? They were absolutely brilliant, but they do play with this high line, and I guess you if you play with that high line, it means you can create the chances that they do. You win the ball high up the pitch, but it has been such a risk for them, and that's sort of why they've lost over these 2 legs.
Yeah, I think in general, in the 2 years Hansi Flick has been there, as a neutral, they're a joy to watch. But I think they're too chaotic to win the Champions League with the players that they have. In my opinion, they're lacking a top-class centre-half and maybe a top-class centre-forward to take over from Lewandowski. They haven't had the money to go out and get those players. That's not going to be too far away in the distant future where they will be back in the hunt, back in the market for the best players in those positions. So I think that the signs are good. Hansi Flick is right. It's still a very young team, and they are facing Atletico Madrid, who I said maybe a couple of rounds ago, if Atleti get their act together and show some consistency, which they haven't done in La Liga, they're 22 points behind Barcelona. They've not once been in the title race this season. But when they raise their game, which they are able to do at the moment, they're not taking they're not concentrating on La Liga at all. They're playing the reserves in every single La Liga game. So that makes them knocking Barcelona out of 2 cup competitions. They now can concentrate on the Champions League, the Copa del Rey final at the weekend. They are dangerous opponents. They've got a chance of winning this competition.
Moving on to tonight, obviously away at Bayern Munich, who are always the form, 9 times out of 10 the form team in the Bundesliga, but Real Madrid have had a really good season, and I think this is an absolutely cracking game tonight.
It should be, Charlie, and Real Madrid they've kind of blown up their season when they made the change from Xabi Alonso. I think they hacked it too hastily. I can't get myself to understand now. Arbeloa is now the manager of Real Madrid after being manager of the B team for 6 months. It just doesn't add up. In my opinion, he's not qualified for the job. And I think recent weeks they lost to Mallorca the weekend before last. Last weekend they drew at home to Girona. Sunday a 9-point gap has opened up at the top of the league. It's all or nothing for Real Madrid in this game. Do I think they'll beat Bayern Munich? I don't. And I don't often back against Real Madrid, but I thought Bayern Munich looks a better coach team. They've got fantastic players. They've now got the 1-goal advantage. They're playing at home. I just don't see the form. And I'm struggling to pick an 11 for Real Madrid because I don't know what the manager is going to do. And I think that reflects on the players now. There's a lack of coaching and organisation with Real Madrid. And that they just try to understand that, well, we got Mbappe, we got Vinicius, we got Jude Bellingham. Something might happen. And they need more than that.
Yeah. I suppose you can never write them off, can you? That's the only thing. It's like you're a fool to write Real Madrid off because you're right, Bayern were better in every part of that pitch last game. And actually their front three, Kane, Elise and Luis Diaz was just so brilliant. When you think Real Madrid are on the pitch, you think, well, they will have the better front three, but they didn't in that first leg.
No, and do you know what? It could have been a 5-3 to Bayern Munich, that game. I think Bayern Munich were wasteful with some of their attacking play. Real Madrid were outplayed, but Manuel Neuer was probably man of the match. So I'm looking ahead tonight and thinking I'm looking forward to watching the game because Real Madrid only know how to play one way. There's no way they're going to go and sit and try and play on the counter-attack. They're very good at counter-attacking football, but it's going to be open. It's going to be hit and miss from Real Madrid. But I just take Bayern Munich just to get the job done tonight, and Harry Kane seems to be in cracking form. Bayern Munich are leading the Bundesliga. Atletico Madrid are not playing regularly. They're La Liga team. They're just playing in cup matches. It's set up for a team that maybe has that sort of PSG are going to win their league probably. I know they're only 4 points ahead at the moment. And it just makes you wonder, the Arsenal, if they do get through, they're still going at it hammer and tongs in the Premier League to try and win that. There might be an advantage for one or two of the other teams left in the last 4.
There's going to be some huge jobs up for sale, in management jobs up this summer, aren't there? I mean, can you see Jurgen Klopp turning up? Could you see someone like Iraola, who's just said he's going to leave Bournemouth at the end of the season? Could you see Thomas Glasner turning up at Real Madrid?
Common sense would suggest that. But at Real Madrid, it's a strange club in the fact that they had to issue a statement last week to say there was a rumour that they were identifying directors of football, sporting directors, because they haven't got one. Well, they have, but it's Florentino Perez. And they made an official statement saying, no, it's false. We are not looking for a director of football. So any manager like Jurgen Klopp, there are players at Real Madrid, if Iraola went there, I know what type of manager he is. These teams have to work hard. They have to run hard. That's a minimum requirement. You're not going to get that at Real Madrid. Jurgen Klopp is not going to have the power that he had at Liverpool. So it's really difficult to see how one of the big managers, you talked about Glasner, that's a possibility, I guess. You seem to think it must be impossible to turn down Real Madrid, but look at the effect it's had on Xabi Alonso, who went there with a marvellous reputation, a former player, and he's gone but just after Christmas. So because the players didn't want to play the type of football that he wanted, he wasn't allowed to coach the players the way he wanted. He probably wasn't allowed to pick the players that he wanted. So that puts restrictions on the big managers taking that job. unless they think they can do it different.
I wouldn't turn it down, but mainly for the payoff I'd get after 3 months. That would be my thought. Cheers, Terry. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Terry.
Max, Charlie, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Spanish football expert Terry Gibson, former Wimbledon Spurs centre forward. And just before everyone yells at you, Charlie,
Did I say Thomas Glasner? No, sorry.
You said, and that's what his good friends, Oliver Glasner, his good friends call him Thomas.
Of course,
don't
you
they?
know. Can't get everything right.
No, you can't. The names, the
names of the people.
You can't get everything right. Absolutely right. How is Charlie expected to know the first names of the Premier League managers? Should we do that quiz?
I was going.
Should we do that quiz? De Zerbi. Come on, De Zerbi.
Roberto, yeah, I know that. Please don't do that.
1 point.
Please
Ding,
don't do
ding,
this quiz. Not under pressure.
Have you got a Wenger?
I'm no good under pressure.
Wenger, Alan, Ferguson,
Gary.
Sir Brian.
Gary Ferguson.
Here we go. It's Max and Charlie here until 4. If you can't get enough of the Champions League, you can catch up on all the fallout from last night's action and look ahead to tonight's games. Angelina Kelly and European football expert Kevin Hatchard in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Jacob Hawley, comedian Arsenal fan, will join us in just a second.
Mate, honestly, what's happened, mate? What's happened? You lot are finding new ways to disgrace yourselves. Somehow, in the last 2 years, every week you find another way to embarrass yourselves and disgrace yourselves, and you've done it again. I mean, I don't know how you do it, mate. You lot, you are some team. Every week it's the same thing, yet it gets worse. It's worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know what you want to say, mate.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I want to see you lot try and pull yourself away from the championship. Now, what you do? You know what you're doing? You want to go there. Here's what I'm saying now.
What do you mean?
It's at the end of the night, right? You know, the end of the night when everyone's gone out and loads of beers.
Terrible analogy.
At the end of the night, you say to your mates, I'm not having a kebab on the way home. Right? That's what you say, right? I don't want a kebab. Right? I don't want to disgrace myself. Mate, you want kebab. You are that kebab team.
Yeah.
Every single week.
It's the worst analogy ever.
It's not because no, it's not because no one wants to wake up stinking of kebab. And you lot stink of kebab.
Yeah.
You stink of kebab. Fingers next morning, you know that smell? That's what you do. You got stinky fingers.
small chance that Mikel Arteta played this just before he went into his press conference. Let's hear what he said when he was asked how he's feeling about the game tonight.
I'm on fire. That's it, nothing else. I'm dreaming so much. I've done so much, to be in this position because I know how this club it was. I've done so much against anything that this is beauty. I just see beauty, opportunity, and I want to get it done for all these people that they've been in this journey with us, and because they deserve it, because it's been unbelievable. That's what is driving me every single day. I have zero fear. Fear I had when, if we don't get this done, this club, I don't know where it's going. That was fear. Now, there's no fear. It's just purpose, fire, direction, and conviction that we're going to do it.
Purpose, fire, and conviction. Let's talk to comedian Arsenal fan Jacob Hawley. Hey, Jacob.
Yeah, he's got all those things.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Great show so far.
Thank you, Jacob.
It's very kind of you. Listened to all of it. That's very kind of you, Joe. You don't
I have made quite a few mistakes so far, Jacob, but I'm keeping it together and smiling. And we're moving on.
You go get it, Charlie.
You got to go get it. That's how it works.
Are you looking forward to tonight? Like, where's the sort of fear, paranoia level with you,
I'm not
Jacob?
sure if you can see me. I've got my bottle.
Yeah.
Is that right? Am I supposed to have the bottle? Is that the gag?
Sure, you're
I don't really understand.
I think you meant to lose your bottle, or have you got your bottle back?
Well, I've got my. It's not the bottle. I haven't chased that middle-aged bloke down the street and
God, that was so annoying, wasn't it?
It was branded Arsenal bottle that he's held in his pocket for 6 months to wait for his moment on Sky.
Almost made me wanted Arsenal to win the league. That I was like, he's so annoying. I hope you do it.
I think for a lot of people, they might have seen that and swung towards Arsenal, but then I think the fire thing yesterday might have swung them back the other way. Many people in disbelief that wasn't AI. The fire thing. Fire. I'm on fire. He sounds a bit like Usyk, doesn't he?
I think
he sort of reminded me of, Alexander Usyk was sort of saying mad stuff like that with Coogan from IFL TV where I'm very feel. Felt a bit like that. I think he's lost his mind.
I think he's on the ropes. I think he looks like a man on the ropes, Jacob.
We're all on the ropes.
But how does
We've
he?
lost our minds,
does
Charlie.
he lose his job? If he doesn't win one of these two competitions, does he lose his job?
He'll walk. He'll go. Of course he will.
Do you
He's
think?
on fire. He can't be on fire forever. You can't just stay on fire for 5 years.
Do you think he could have said?
Of course he will.
He could have said, "Look, we're actually doing really well. We're top of the league.
Yeah,
we're really close. It's really hard. I think we can win one or both. We might not, but we are a really good football team." Or wouldn't that feels like the answer he could have said, as opposed to fire. I don't know.
But it wouldn't have been enough, though, would it? I think football's gone in such a mad direction now due to the kind of the contentification of sports media. That he's a living, walking meme, Arteta now, and he has to give the responses that are going to get the retweets and the shares, and he has to lean into the character.
Unless he's deflecting from his players. Unless he said the thing last week about bring your dinner, bring your mates, bring your dinner. Then he said about being punched in the face at the weekend, and then he said this fire thing. Unless he's trying to put all the pressure on himself rather than his players.
Yes, which look, you have to credit him a little bit. You've seen other managers over the years when things go wrong, put it on the players. And I was there Saturday, and I'd have put it on the players. They were awful. They were absolutely dreadful. You sort of get lost in this conversation about Arsenal winning leagues and stuff. Arsenal had no right to beat Bournemouth on Saturday. Bournemouth were loads better. And there's loads of those Bournemouth players who would have walked into that Arsenal team. Krupi Jr., the right back, the right, they're all brilliant. They're really good players. Harry Wilson was great. They deserve to beat Arsenal at the weekend. And when you look at the teams Arsenal are putting out, they don't look like league-winning teams. Noni and Gyökeres and a teenager coming off the bench when he's not busy with his sats. It doesn't look like a team that should be winning the league. And you look up north and see what City are doing, and it's scary. But I still. Call me a dreamer. I've got my bottle. I still think we've got enough to do it.
Well, the Champions League is difficult, right? I mean, you know, Atleti would be hard. They're a good team, and then it was PSG or Bayern, right? I mean, maybe Real Madrid, but either way, to win that, you've got to be, and anything can happen in a one-off game. But the league, it's this City game, isn't it? And the hard thing, I guess, look, Bournemouth have had a rest, right? City don't have a game this week, and that you feel that is we don't really go, they might be knackered, because you look at players and think they're either 0% fit or 100% fit, and it's just not like that. And so it is going to be really tough for you guys.
Well, there was all that noise a couple of weeks ago when we were pulling players out of the internationals of Arteta's dodgy dealings, and this has ruined football, and we can't believe, despite the fact that Ferguson was doing this for years. I mean, Gabby Agbonlahor himself spoke to a newspaper about how he sacked off England duty to go on holiday with his missus. And then all the Arsenal players came back to Arsenal, and sure as anything, they are all injured. None of them are back. They weren't faking anything. There was no dodgy phone calls. They're knackered. So, I think we are where we are. I spoke to a few Arsenal fans yesterday. The hypothetical I threw at them was, would you go out of the Champions League if I could guarantee you a draw at the Etihad on
question.
Sunday? Nearly all of them said yes. Which is crazy. We've never won the Champions League. It's only the third time we'd have got to a semi-final if we do get through. But I think it shows you the desperation where we are. Finishing second 3 times in a row. This has never happened before. We have to get over the line in the Premier League. And I still think people forget there's still a 6-point gap with a game in hand. It's easy to look at City over the last couple of weeks. They won the Carabao, won convincingly at the weekend against Chelsea, and you think, right, they're on a run. The last time Arsenal and City both played in the Premier League, we beat Everton. They dropped points to West Ham. And they've still got to go to Everton. They've still got to go to Bournemouth. And we're still in this, and I would love it.
They've got to go to Middlesbrough and get something.
I was hoping that's where you were going, Jacob.
No, I still believe. And you have to. Ultimately, this is the game, right? As a football fan, and this is what we wanted for years. We were mucking around in 8th for a few years. It was fighting to get into the Europa League. We're here
Tottenham
now.
would kill for 8th. Tottenham would kill for 8th.
Tottenham would take 8th if it meant playoffs in the Championship next season. I have to say, it makes it a little bit easier. The fact that there's no Premier League fans, apart from City, who can laugh at us. Spurs are getting relegated. United have been irrelevant for the past few years. Chelsea aren't going to get Champions League. Liverpool spent however much money last summer to be looking at sacking their manager next summer. It's only City fans who can laugh at us, and luckily there's only one of them, and he's got a plastic bottle in his pocket.
True. Although it won't stop the rest of the fans laughing at you, Jacob, as you well know.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
Good luck this evening. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Jacob Hawley there.
Go and see Jacob live, whatever he's doing. He's normally doing something live. Go and see a tour show or something. He's very, very funny. Really good live.
Yeah. Thank you. You absolutely should. And he's proved it there by being funny for 10 minutes, which is good. Arsenal Sporting Live, quarterfinal second leg. Adrian Durham, your host, Jim Proudfoot, Darren Bent, your commentary team. The OB producer is Izzy Minter.
Not on a Wednesday, Max. Not on a Wednesday. We're respectful on a Wednesday.
You can't, honestly, sacking Arteta, and I know I'm so burnt by Tottenham, but it doesn't mean you're definitely going to get 10% better. You could get 10% worse.
Yeah.
He has done an amazing job at Arsenal. He might not get them over the line because it's hard to get a team over the line. But
it does feel like the end of this cycle of the Arteta project.
Yeah, but the next project just might be worse. That's all I'm saying. It might be worse.
Yeah.
It's Max and Charlie with you until 4. We'll go to the States in just a second and talk about how much it costs to get a train for 4 miles.
I walked out of the stadium on Saturday, and I'm an old school, and I said to your researcher that I think this goes back a long way. It goes back to Arsene Wenger the last 11 years. We're cowardly. We've got nobody in the midfield. We've got a lovely bunch of players that are all on their own lovely, No Patrick Vieira. Nobody just stamped their foot. No, Patrick Vieira would have been the ideal person on Saturday because he would have got in amongst them. Declan Rice, amazing player. Amazing player. You can't knock him. Zubimendi, great technical player. But every time we tackle somebody, they're picking them up. Are you okay? Are you all right? We need somebody, Simon will probably tell you this in business, you need somebody that can hardball, that can go in and say, that's not working. What are you boys doing? They were all popping Zubimendi out on the pitch on Saturday because he was giving the ball away, to be fair. But this goes back to the Wenger days of turning us into a weak, cowardly club. And sadly, we're going to go up there Saturday. I'll be up there Sunday. I think it'll be 5-0. I've got this horrible feeling that they're going to tear us apart. I don't know what Danny thinks about. He spoke earlier about having somebody in the midfield that calms the nerve. We haven't got that. We just haven't got it.
And it's not going to be that, is it? When did Arsenal last concede 5 in a game? I mean,
I understand his fear. I understand his fear because if Arsenal played like they did at the weekend and City played like they did second half Chelsea, there could be Liverpool just went there and got done 3, didn't they?
Hi, good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you on talkSPORT. We'll cross to New York in just a second. ESPN's Luis Miguel Echegaray will join us. We'll talk about the cost of tickets, the cost of trains, the cost of the whole World Cup, and we'll do a bit of football as well with Luis in just a second. Before that, Ben Fletcher has the sport.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Hugo Ekitike is set for 9 months on the sidelines with an Achilles injury. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy says it's a huge blow for him, especially ahead of the World Cup.
There was talk that he'd edged his way into the 11 for France. He played in the last game, him, Mbappe and... I think maybe Dembele, but the reality is this is part of football, and I'm devastated for him because he's on such a good run, a good trajectory.
Slot played Ekitike on the right with an out-of-sorts Isak up front in that defeat to PSG. Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool will have to go big again in the summer window.
There's a part of me that thinks that. I mean, obviously, I read between the lines and I hear journalists talking about the fact that Liverpool's ownership are not entertaining that idea at this moment in time and wanting to see, to maintain the support of him because of the credit in the bank that he's got for last year.
Champions League action continues tonight with Arsenal v Sporting Lisbon live on talkSPORT. Manchester City are believed to have joined the race to sign the next academy prospect from Palmeiras in Brazil. PSG, Chelsea and Barcelona are also keen on 16-year-old Eduardo Conceição, who's lighting up South America's Under-17s Championship. And it's emerged Bryden Carse could be a doubt for the start of England's summer test campaign. The fast bowler has withdrawn from the IPL because of a hand injury, the severity of which is not yet clear. England face New Zealand on June the 4th. In the meantime, plenty to see on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
The Prime Minister says he will not yield to pressure from Trump on Iran and NHS treatment for women's health to be overhauled. More from Sinead at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The tyre transfer window is hotting up and we've signed a multi-generational talent with Continental Tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Rain and showers moving east across the country. Those showers heavy at times. Warm in the sunnier spells coming later on. It is staying breezy.
I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I
Funny if we played the whole of it, wouldn't it?
Well, it's all 7.5 minutes.
I think it's long. I think it's on forever. Now for 10 years we've been.
I prefer the Madonna version. I prefer.
Oh, come on. It's Max Rushden Charlie Baker with you until 4 on talkSPORT. We're doing our weekly countdown to the World Cup, which starts on June the 10th. Let's chat to ESPN's Luis Miguel Echegaray, based in New York. Luis, welcome.
Luis.
How are you, fellas? It's
Very
great to
good.
be back. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're really welcome.
It's a pleasure. So much chat about the cost of this all, Luis, which is not necessarily the most positive place to start. But you know, the most expensive ticket for the finals now going to be almost $11,000, and it was about $1,600 for the most expensive one in Qatar. I mean, that's a huge uplift in how much it's going to cost. Now they're saying the train to get to a stadium in New Jersey is going to be 5 times the price. It does seem like football fans are being priced out of this tournament.
100% spot on. And you don't need to tell me twice. As a New Yorker who has to pay ridiculous amounts of money every time I go and see my family back in London, they say to me, "Oh, you're in London, it's going to be expensive." I'm like, I live in New York City. You have no idea what expensive means. And now the World Cup is coming to the United States. As you mentioned, New York City, New Jersey, of course. You talked about the ticketing prices. You talked about the recent transportation issues between Penn Station and heading to Secaucus, which is the platform where you go before you go to MetLife Stadium, where it's going to be the World Cup final. Usually, fellas, that's about $13 a ticket. It's now going to be about $100. You know, parking itself, it's going to be more expensive than a ticket for the Euros. I mean, we're talking about some serious money here. It's going to be basically, essentially, officially the most expensive World Cup in the history of the competition. And there's a lot of reasons for it. I mean, you know, we can't just be black and white about it. Number one, we have to remember that the United States, in essence, from a sporting marketing perspective, is the most expensive place to watch a game. Soccer aside, football aside, we're talking about NBA games, we're talking about NFL games, NHL, the WNBA, the list goes on and on. And the World Cup, obviously the biggest sporting event anywhere, especially globally, is going to triple that. And now you're talking about ticket prices from FIFA, you know, according to The Athletic, obviously, you know, they have just quadrupled. They've become way, way more expensive, not just initially in the first markets, but in the secondary markets. I mean, you mentioned it already, Max. You're talking about a World Cup final ticket. If you want to go just as a fan and you're coming from England and you got to buy your plane ticket, you got to get your Airbnb or your hotel. And then, oh, by the way, if you want to go to the World Cup final, which could be a realistic thing for England, we'll have to talk about that. You're going to talk about $20,000. I mean, it's just really insurmountable. And it's like you said, it's just an insult, I think, to many fans. I mean, everybody's excited about the World Cup. Of course we are. But we have to make it affordable for the true passionate fan.
Is there an economic basis to these prices, do you think? Or do they think they're relying that once passion gets involved that people's head goes out the window?
Yeah, I think it's the answer to that, right? I mean, I think, you know, ultimately, no matter what we say or how we complain about it, and you can look at this from a historical perspective, by the way, the 1994 World Cup, right? The last time the World Cup was here in the US, that to this day remains the most attended World Cup in history. And there's a reason for it, right? Geographically speaking, population speaking, but also it was in tangent to the, you know, debut of Major League Soccer as well. So there's always going to be demand where there is supply, and there is no bigger demand than the United States, especially in this kind of sphere. And by the way, I'm not even including, you know, the opening games in Mexico City or the games in Canada. You're talking all over the country, of course. So, but I think that, Charlie, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is these prices are not going to fall down. I mean, you're talking about $900 tickets, $1,000 tickets for just to try and get a seat in the stadium, right? But no matter what, fans, especially from South America, I think, are going to pay that dividend, and especially those that live in the United States already. What I feel for truly is those fans that are coming from Europe or Africa, and they really want to see their team play. They really want, especially for some of them, like look at Norway. They haven't seen their team play in a very long time. They want to see their team play in the highest of competitions. And no matter what, I think they're going to pay that price no matter what. And I think that's what FIFA is relying on. The fact that the passion, the insurmountable support for the game and your national team will be bigger, larger than the price itself.
And because in the States, if they're used to, you know, the tickets being expensive, because there would be uproar if this was the World Cup was in England and this was happening. Is there not that, or are people, because the World Cup is 57 days away and there's lots of big US sports happening at the moment. Is just the public consciousness not there yet in the States?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think I want to remind all your viewers and listeners that in the United States, the congested schedule of sports is incredible. You know, in England, you know, I grew up in England, I got family in England, you know, the Premier League, you know, pretty much takes center stage. After that, you've got other leagues, of course, and then you've got, you know, anything from cricket to Six Nations, etc. But really, the Premier League takes the center stage. In the United States, you've got the NFL. When that's over, you've got college sports, including March Madness, which is, you know, the college basketball tournament here, which is just incredibly popular. You've got the WNBA. You've got now, you know, baseball season starting. The NBA players are about to start. Like there is not the Masters. There's just not one single minute where you can take a break. And because it's such a congested sporting schedule, it's not within the subconscious of a regular fan to really think about the World Cup until it literally happens the next day, right? That's when you're going to get, you know, all the popularity and all the excitement and everything. Of course, there's excitement for the soccer fan, for the football fan here in America, which, by the way, is a massively growing animal. But in terms of the overall population, it's not until it really happens that really you will see that excitement. I mean, I take it back to when Lionel Messi arrived to Inter Miami in 2023, you know, the moment he landed, you just felt that energy across the country. And I think it's going to be obviously bigger, but in similar effect here. So I think that once we hit around mid-May, I think that's when you're really going to see the overall population serious. Oh, the World Cup's coming. Oh, you know, where is it? What's going to go on? What's going to happen? And once that happens, then it's going to be all guns blazing, so to speak. But make no mistake about it, it's going to be a very interesting thing for us to see how it logistically samples up.
Now, listen, Lewis, we've run out of time. I know you want to talk about who you think is going to win, the mistakes that Tuchel made, etc., etc. So why don't we just get you on next week or the week after that, and we can do all of that stuff. Is that good with you?
I mean, listen, we can talk about England. That's a never-ending topic, right, Max? So absolutely, I'd love to come back.
Yeah, well, we'll do that. I mean, I admire optimism of possibly getting to the final. I've plotted it, and it looks like quite a tough journey to get there. But thank you, Luis. Always nice to chat. Luis Miguel Echegaray there, New York-based journalist for ESPN, and we'll catch up with him again in a bit. You know, at some point you just go, it's just a football match. I know this is talkSPORT, but
we are going to win the World Cup. We are going to win the World Cup, so it's probably worth.
Well, of course, like we always do. I know we always do, but
we win it every time, so it's got a bit boring now.
$10,000. I don't know, but like imagine. But I mean, I feel for, you know, as you said, Norway fans or Scotland fans, or, you know, teams that don't get to the World Cup every single time, to suddenly be facing this cost. Now, talkSPORT have teamed up with Aston Villa to create a fan zone for all England games. We have, all England games for the World Cup. Villa legend, it says here, Gabby Agbonlahor. That's fair enough. We'll be there to kick things off at Villa's brand new venue, the Warehouse, for the first game against Croatia on the 17th of June. We're putting Gabby Agbonlahor in a warehouse for the Croatia game.
You have to find him. That's the game.
You have to go there. Yeah.
Gabby Agbonlahor is in a warehouse in the UK.
Yeah. It's a good show, this. I'd watch
You have to find him.
Yeah. Massive screens as England start our World Cup campaign. If you would like to go to talksport.com/fanzone to buy your tickets.
And Tyson Fury, along with Mr. Warren alongside him in the ring, had a look at Anthony Joshua sitting ringside, and Fury honed in on Joshua and said, okay, how about it?
Next, I want to give you the fight you've all been waiting for. I want you, AJ, Anthony Joshua. Let's give the fight fans what they want. The Battle of Britain. And here's my challenge. I challenge you, Anthony Joshua, to fight me, the Gypsy King, next. Do you accept my challenge?
Tonight is your night, and you know I'll sit across that ring from you in due time. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. I've been chasing you for the last 10 years. When you're ready, you come and see me and tell me your terms and conditions, and I'll have you in the ring when I'm ready. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
You work for me. I'm the landlord. Remember that. I'm the landlord. You work for me.
Now, I've got to say, Simon, I thought AJ handled that brilliantly.
Yeah, to a point. I think he's absolutely right not to allow the whip hand to be Tyson Fury's, because Tyson's all pumped up after being back in the ring and having just won a fight. The flip side of it is I don't think Anthony Joshua is the landlord. I don't think coming after getting ironed out by Daniel Dubois puts you in the box seat. You are both the biggest names in British boxing over the last decade.
Good afternoon. You are listening to talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4 this afternoon. And listen, this show, we do silly stuff and we do serious stuff. We're going to have a pretty serious conversation now, but an important one. And we're going to do it in the company of Gareth Thomas, former Wales rugby captain, LGBTQ plus campaigner as well, who joins us in the studio. Gareth, it's always nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for coming in, Gareth.
Thanks for having me in, guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now, you wanted to talk about, it's a very serious issue, about drug-related death amongst the LGBTQ plus community. And, that will be a lot of listeners. This show we're generally just mucking about and messing about, but we need to be able to have serious conversations about serious things sometimes. And there will be people listening to this who have been affected by this.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's the greatest audience to kind of have, is when they're unexpected and tuning into something that's fun, but are actually engaged and listening. And it's to understand, like, so statistics have come out, and 1 in 5 people within the LGBT community will know somebody who's died of a drug-related death. Now, the sad thing is that we always, as a society, have to wait until statistics are terrible and at their all-time low until we decide to do something about it. But the great thing is Grindr, the app Grindr, and You Are Loved, which is a non-charity organisation which helps which helps people in this predicament. I got together and we kind of I led a conversation around this topic. Now, why I wanted to be a part of this topic is because I have a real connection to this. So I had a friend who always smiled, had a great job, had a great life. Yet I stood at his bedside for 2 days while he was on a life support machine, having fallen into the misuse of drugs. And when he came around, I asked him, why didn't you tell me that you had this problem? He said, because I was ashamed by it, because there's such a stigma around it, and I thought you were going to judge me. And also I asked myself a question as to why I didn't ask him how he was doing. And that's because I didn't know enough about it. So this conversation, I think lots of people have conversations, but not often people are able to deliver the answers within the conversation. It's like, let's have a conversation about this problem.
Yeah.
But people want to listen and hear the answer. And what we did in this conversation, which is on out on Grindr, is we spoke about this conversation, but we also directed people and direct the conversation towards help. Like, you know, when you want to tell someone something that's really private to you, sometimes you don't want to tell your friend. And I tell you why you don't want to tell your friend or your closest friends is because you care if they turn their back on you. Now, what we found with this is that, you know, you are loved, and the switchboard, you can speak to people if you have this problem. You can speak to people anonymously who have great empathy, who have great sympathy, and who have great knowledge, and can not only help you change your life, but also can help us save lives. So these statistics start to come down.
And the hard thing is, isn't it, is it's starting those conversations.
Yeah.
Right. They are so hard to do. And you know, whatever the problem might be, you know, be it drugs or something else, alcohol or whatever it is, to start that from either side, either the person saying, I've got a problem, or if you think somebody you know, and we all know somebody we're close to that we think might have a problem, but, you know, it's, oh, it's Wednesday, I'm tired, or I don't know, the kid didn't sleep or whatever. You're like, you don't want to have that conversation today. It's actually really hard to find the right space and time to have very difficult conversations.
But my theory on that is because we live in a reactive society. You know, we're all born to react. Like, this is a great sports show. We react to a great goal. You know, we react to things that have already happened. Sometimes within society, if you're proactive to try and stop something happening, then it becomes more difficult. You know, we just wait until there's a right reaction. We wait until it's the last moment. We wait until there's a horrible statistic before we're allowed to react. You know, I am somebody who's a big believer in being proactive, right? And for being proactive, I get called out. So I'll get called a snowflake for being proactive because people will say to me, why are you bringing up
this? This is the right show. Gareth, if you want to be called a snowflake, you're on the right show.
Call me a drizzle then. Call me what you want. But I think that's the thing. You know, people are afraid to start proactive conversations because they're like, that problem doesn't exist. But you have to wait until there's a statistic that is a terrifying statistic until people will allow you to talk about it. And that's what's so great about this is that we've got to a point. And we've got to this point because people don't want to talk about it because it's a stigmatized, such a stigmatized topic. So to be able to have platforms like this that people will then go away with, and some of the greatest learnings I've ever learned in my life, I don't know about you guys, have been when I've been with my mates in the pub or when I've been sitting around with my family at the dinner table. So it's not just about taking these platforms, it's about taking the information you get from these platforms and taking it into your own little society, your own little world. Because I guarantee you, you know, within certain degrees of separation, everybody, sadly, because of the high number of statistics, everybody is going to have that friend close to them. So that number of one person sadly losing their life in the queer community, 1 out of 5, sadly, everyone's going to be within a certain degrees of separation of that one person. So start the conversation to make sure that one person isn't a statistic.
And I think, I certainly feel it as an LGBTQ plus ally, to start those conversations is sometimes difficult because it's not my world.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to help my friend.
Yeah.
I don't care what any sexuality anybody is.
Yeah.
Or whoever they love. I don't care about that. I want to help my friend.
Yeah.
So often it's just making that first step and saying, are you okay? No, are you okay?
Yeah. And do you know what? I agree with that. And all I got to say now, and this comes, like everything I say comes from a good place. and I say that's not your world, do you know what? Make it your world. If he's a friend, make it your world. Like I have, a great group of friends of all this different characteristics, from gay, bisexual, trans, and I make sure that when I address them or when I talk to them or when I ask them how they are, like I make sure I know how to say it. I make sure I know that person well enough to know that if I ask how you are and you go, oh, I'm all right, and it's like, but what? Yeah. But what? Tell me what? So, we do. I'll say 150 times to people through the day, how you doing? And sometimes I never listen to their response. I feel like it's enough for me to say how you doing. But don't just start that conversation. Be a part of a conversation, and make it your right to be a part of that person's world. Yeah.
Can I ask on a sort of wider point? I don't know if you've seen the Louis Theroux doc about the manosphere, Gareth, and about the what people say is like a crisis of masculinity, right? A crisis of male role models, and a lot of people being influenced by these, in my view, pretty dangerous people on social media who I've never heard of, but I've seen this, who are, openly misogynistic and homophobic, amongst many other things. And I don't know, you're probably the wrong question to say, do you see yourself as like a different role model in that, in a space of we're looking, there need to be good male role models around for young men to look to. Maybe, I don't know, you probably don't wake up in the morning and think you are that. I think you are that. But there is an issue, like a wider issue that we need to find people to be better male role models than just someone screaming on YouTube.
I just think we need, and this is what I believe I am. I didn't wake up one day, and I still don't wake up any days and think, I'm a trailblazer in any way. I take on a responsibility of being a role model, but what comes with being a role model is being real. And that's realizing that, I have really good traits and I try really hard. I try to please everybody all the time. It doesn't always work, but I try. But also what I realize I have, and I'm quite open about, is I have faults. Like, I am far from perfect, even though I don't intentionally go out to hurt anyone. I sometimes do by not engaging, by not knowing correct things, or not knowing terminologies, or not understanding. A big reason why I did this campaign in particular around this difficult issue, the big reason I did it, because when I was first asked, and this is, again, coming from a good place, but a place of honesty, when I was first asked, I thought, I don't want to be associated with that. That's a real difficult subject. My friend nearly died of that. I don't want to be associated with that because that's going to make me look really bad. What a selfish thing to do. And when you talk
about the uncomfortable things that you need to learn more about, and
and that's when you talk about that the documentary, The Manosphere. Like, all of that was, the reality is what all them people would say they were comfortable with. None of that made them uncomfortable. I feel living a life and really pushing your limits and doing things that will allow you to evolve and also allow society to evolve is not sitting in the comfort zone. As sports people, I never sat in the comfort zone. If I wanted to sit in the comfort zone as a sports person, I'd never achieve what I've achieved. Sure. It's getting outside of your comfort zone. And I think that's what real role models do, is they accept their flaws, they accept their lack of reality, because a role model is a person who somebody else will look up to. No one in this world is perfect. So no one's going to look up to someone who's perfect because they can't see themselves in them. You have to accept your flaws. You have to do things that's uncomfortable. And again, that's why I'm so passionate about this subject, because this subject people aren't talking about because they're uncomfortable to talk about it, because they don't have the power to give them the knowledge to have good conversations.
If there are people who are directly affected now, so in the LGBTQ plus community who have problems with drugs, who are directly affected by what you're talking about now, where can they seek help?
So the You Are Loved campaign, you can go to your Switchboard is another great place for, again, great conversations with people with empathy. Also on the Grindr app, the resources can direct you to You Are Loved and to the Switchboard through the Grindr app as well.
Gareth, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Really
Thank you, guys. Keep the show going. It's great.
Thank you. Gareth Thomas there, former Wales.
I hadn't heard otherwise, so I didn't know if we were keeping the show going, but
Are we keeping the show?
Hopefully management don't come in now and go, that's it. That's the end of the
thing
show.
is, when Gareth says, get out of your comfort zone, you're talking to two people just chatting away in the afternoon.
Right, coming up next is the weather.
He's good. This guy's good.
He is really good. No, actually, Gareth, you'll like this. Coming up next, historian David Olasuga will talk to us about sandwiches.
Oh, I thought he was going to say about the weather.
Tottenham Hotspur, this mighty club with a phenomenal stadium, we all know that, of course, are looking at heading to Sheffield United, with all due respect, Birmingham, Swansea, Preston, Stoke next season. Is that what's going to happen? Graham's a big Tottenham fan and joins us live. Graham, good morning. Is that what's going to happen?
I'm sorry to say, I think at the minute, I think it has to be. We'd have to be completely blindsided, I feel, to think anything else. I said in amongst group chats with friends that in January, the moment we slip into that bottom three, I don't see us getting out of it. And I think it's got nothing to do, and this alludes to a point that Simon made, I feel, maybe 10 minutes ago, about not necessarily having that quality, because it's clear that the quality hasn't been there this season. It's about having the fight and the mentality to actually pull yourself together, earn the money that you're being paid, and get yourself out of this and restore some sort of reputation that this football club has got. Unfortunately, I feel for us at the minute, we have too many players that have completely checked out. When the going got tough in and around January, February time, when you actually sat there and thought, we're in a bit of bother here, agents started appearing. Suddenly we've got Van der Ven doing interviews with his dad, and straight away you look at that and go, they're angling for moves already. We've got Paulina, who's on loan, who I actually really like, and I feel he's probably the closest one we've got to someone that's willing to stand up and fight and knows what it takes to try and win games of football. But when you look at, we've put up with Mr. Tickle in goal for most of the season. He's come out and started flirting back with Italy again.
Hugo Ekitike could be out for 9 months with an Achilles injury. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy says it's a huge blow for him, especially ahead of the World Cup.
There was talk that he'd edged his way into the 11 for France. He'd played in the last game, him, Mbappe and I think maybe Dembele. But the reality is this is part of football, and I've devastated for him because he's on such a good run, a good trajectory.
Slot played Ekitike on the right with an out-of-sorts Isak up front in the defeat to PSG. Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool will have to go big again in the summer window.
There's a part of me that thinks that. I mean, obviously, I read between the lines and hear journalists talking about the fact that Liverpool's ownership are not entertaining that idea at this moment in time and wanting to see, to maintain the support of him because of the credit in the bank that he's got for last year.
Now, Man City are believed to have joined the race to sign the next academy prospect from Palmeiras in Brazil. PSG, Chelsea and Barcelona are also keen on the 16-year-old Eduardo Conceição, who's currently tearing up South America's Under-17 Championship. And Ben Stokes has admitted that he's lucky to be alive.
A couple inches one way or the other. Might not be here doing this interview. Yeah, copped one straight in the face. Pretty nasty, but funnily, probably the best result of a bad situation, to be honest.
This, as it's emerged, Bryden Cast could be a doubt for the start of England's summer campaign. England face New Zealand on June the 4th. Plenty to see on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksby and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Time now for Paddy's Challenge, our quiz for charity in association with our friends and official betting partner Paddy Power. In Paddy's Challenge, we put our knowledge of the wonderful world of sport to the test with a chance of raising lots of cash for our nominated charities. I'm playing for the Sporting Memories Network, Charlie raising fund for the Rowcroft Hospice, helping to manage proceedings and ensure fair play as always. Our quizmaster, Ben Fletcher. Hello, Fletch.
Good afternoon, gents. In Paddy's Challenge, you'll each be asked 3 multiple-choice questions posed by the voice of Paddy Power, Alistair McGowan. The winner is the player that scores the most points. In the event of a tie, you'll both win the chance to raise some cash for your charities. Last time we played, Charlie, you won, and you backed PSG to beat Liverpool in last week's first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. They did so 2-0, which means that's another £52 added to the Rowcroft pot. A decent chunk, yep. Let's see if we can raise some more cash for your charities this week. The virtual coin toss has taken place off air. It has decreed that Charlie will be going first on this occasion.
Good luck, Charlie.
So
wow.
If the highly paid technical production department are ready, how about that? That's production. Charlie, here comes question number 1.
Rory McIlroy's Masters win last weekend meant that he joined an elite group of back-to-back champions. Tiger Woods was the last person to achieve this feat. In which years did Tiger win? A, 2001 and 2, B, 2005 and 6, or C, 2009 and 10?
5 and 6.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear.
2001, 2002. The other.
I was so confident as well.
You were pretty
You
confident.
really were. You had me fooled.
Well, I thought I was right. Can they check that? Can they check the answer?
The more confident they are, the harder they fall. The other back-to-back champions, Jack Nicklaus in 65-66 and Nick Faldo in 89-90.
Oh, remember that Greg Norman one?
I suppose you were, Charlie, very confident about how good Real Madrid's season was.
That went badly.
Pretty confident about
badly. I started laughing.
Say
halfway
it
through the
with
answer.
conviction.
Pretty confident about Torquay United.
Very up. The goals going up.
Automatic.
Don't you know? Pump it up. The goals are going up. Right, let's go.
We shall see. More of that on talkSPORT 3 shortly. Max, here comes your first question.
Okay.
Rory McIlroy made history at the Masters with his back-to-back title win. What specific record did he set during the second round at Augusta National? A, the most consecutive birdies in a single round. B, the lowest single-round score in Masters history. Or C, the largest second-round lead in Masters history.
Ooh. C.
That's right.
1 point to Max.
Is correct. Yes. McIlroy became just the 4th defending champion to hold a 36-hole lead the year after his victory. Arnold Palmer did it 3 times, 59, 61, 65. That's 19 in case you were wondering. While Ian Woosnam in 1992 and Jordan Spieth in 2016 did it just the once. So an early bit of pressure for Charlie. Here comes your second question.
Welsh athlete and record holder Freya Jones had 4 of her javelins broken in transit last week.
No.
How much does each of Jones's javelins cost? A, £700 to £1,200 each. B, £1,500 to £2,000 each.
Vague,
C,
isn't it?
£2,500 to £3,000 each.
I don't reckon even a javelin thrower would know this.
I think they would. Steve Backley would know. On the line is Mick Hill.
You don't
How much is this javelin?
You don't pop in.
Why is it like Antiques Roadshow? Why is it like Antiques Roadshow where it's between 700?
I think you should be have to make your own javelin to be in the javelin.
Okay.
What could possibly
go
wrong
in your kitchen? What's
that
the
sounds
answer?
great.
I'm saying.
Point of view.
Well, I think C, but I'm going to say B.
It was neither. It was A. £700 to £1,200 each.
Very much.
Bargain.
The Commonwealth
Bargain.
Games medal hopeful Jones was travelling to Australia when a luggage buggy ran over her javelins in Brunei. Has a luggage buggy ever run over your javelins, Charlie Baker or Max Rushden?
In Brunei.
A javelin in Brunei. My new album.
I've got to say, Fletch, it's a niche text topic. Have you ever had a javelin run over you in Brunei?
There'll be somebody, I'm sure, on Weekend Extra Time this Saturday and Sunday morning here on talkSPORT. The presenter's quite good, I hear. Max, an opportunity for you to win outright now, such as so bad Charlie has been. You've had an absolute mare.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
It's not okay. Here comes your second question.
Which unusual sport held its first ever competitive race at Loughborough University last month, involving 16 athletic union clubs? A, chess boxing. B, spogomi, competitive litter picking. Or C, extreme ironing.
Such an obvious question. Such an obvious question.
Do you think that's obvious?
Yeah, really obvious.
Chess boxing, I think it's been around for longer than that, but I'll go with A.
Nice B.
Oof. It was B, competitive litter picking.
We've had the world champion on, the English champion on.
Have you? Well, as part of the Climate Cup, 16 athletic union clubs raced around Loughborough, glamorous Loughborough, to gather as much litter as they could in 45 minutes. The winning team
I'm fully in
collected
favour.
more than 28 kilograms of litter, with the event clearing a staggering 281 kilograms of rubbish from the town.
It's done on weight.
Can we just say, stop littering, everybody?
Who litters?
I mean, that just
They
it
put
in
the
a
litter
bin.
out. They
Cool.
put it out on purpose, I think, though, for the tournament. That's how it works.
Okay.
So they're part of the competition.
Japan, the last Worlds was in.
Was it?
Yeah, and the Japanese team
Of course,
won.
they're very good. They clear up after themselves, don't they?
Dressing room.
Well, the next one will be live on talkSPORT 4.
Don't they?
I've got to stop making jokes about that. But yeah.
All right, okay.
Seriously.
I mean, you could have said that about much of your material. Only kidding.
Also very true. There's a man
Okay.
who's not learned his lesson over 18
Come on
years
now.
at talkSPORT. Charlie, the best that you can hope for is to equalise and split the pots.
Come on,
So
Baker.
here comes your third and final question.
Easy.
Which Bundesliga team appointed the first woman to manage the men's team in one of Europe's top 5 leagues last week?
Union Berlin.
A. Union Berlin.
Just wait.
B. Bayer Leverkusen. Or C. RB Leipzig.
Union Berlin.
You sure?
Good one.
Pretty confident.
Yes.
Well done,
Yep.
Charlie.
Marie-Louise Etta will become the interim head coach of Union Berlin. She's been on the staff since July 2023, which means that, Max, an opportunity for you to take the pot. If you get it wrong, worst case scenario, you'll split it with Charlie. Here it comes, question 3.
Bernardo Silva set a new record for the most Premier League appearances by a Portuguese player last week. Who previously held this record? A. Luis Boamorte. B. Cristiano Ronaldo. Or C. Bruno Fernandes.
I mean, everything is saying Cristiano to me, but Boamorte could have been there forever, couldn't he? Like, that is a good shout.
Good question.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
God. But Ronaldo, it was young, but he was away for a long time. Well, I'll go Boamorte against my better judgment.
Pick that one out.
Absolutely right. Silva set a new total of 297 appearances in overtaking Boamorte's 296 in his 13 seasons in the top flight. 13 seasons. That's about how long Torquay have been in National League South, isn't it? Hashtag non-league bans. But it is congratulations to you, Max, today's winner. You've won a free £20 bet that Paddy Power will place for you, so you can try and win some cash for your charity. It just remains for me to ask, what are you going to go for?
I will
2-1.
say...
I got 2. I got 1 right.
You got 1 right. Come on.
Focus, Charlie.
Even get that right.
I am going to say...
Sporting win?
No, I'll just get some money in Bayern to progress.
Bayern to progress to the next round of the knockout stages. We'll see how you get on and reveal the winnings next week.
Thank you, Fletch. That was this week's challenge in the book. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
And now I can say, after the break, David Olasuga will
Yes.
talk to us about sandwiches.
Fabulous.
It's going to be some summer of change, isn't it, for Liverpool?
Again, yeah, massive. It's.
Do you think Slot might be part of that summer of change?
No chance. Honestly, I don't say that lightly, but the amount of Liverpool supporters I know are on the same page. Hierarchy aren't daft. They're not stupid. Finishing 5th for Liverpool, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. Irrelevant of the mitigating circumstances.
It might get you Champions League.
Well, it will, and financially that's good, but where they're at is nowhere near. They're nowhere near it. They're only going to probably only get 5th because of other teams failing below them.
How many times did you play for Liverpool? You got a rough ballpark figure?
240, 250.
240, 250. So you must have the absolute utmost admiration for Andy. 373 appearances for the club.
It's
he came for 8 million from Hull.
Yeah, but the respect comes from not only his longevity, it's the level of his performance during that period. His numbers are phenomenal, and he's been. I think he's been underrated. I don't think he's ever, in all the success Liverpool have had. Yes, there's times where he's had some plaudits, but it's more been Trent.
Yeah,
you know, the front three on the Klopp, all that's the Henderson, the captain fantastic. Robbo's gone under, and there's the other thing as well. Last thing on him. It's no coincidence Virgil hasn't been himself because he hasn't had Robbo next to him. That's definitely a factor.
So, heart says Liverpool, PSG.
No, my heart doesn't even. They're not. PSG are here.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you on talkSPORT here until 4. And occasionally we get messages in the WhatsApp group, such as, would you like the historian, writer, broadcaster, BAFTA-winning filmmaker, professor, got to the end of Celebrity Traitors, David Olasuga, to come on and talk to you about sandwiches? And we said, absolutely yes.
All
they
day
know
long.
us. And David joins us now. How are you, David?
Hello, David.
I'm very well. I've had a sandwich, so I'm up for it.
Of course you have.
Imagine today if every interview you did, you had to eat a sandwich every interview, and we were number 10. Oh, God.
You'll be able to see it by my
So presumably your career has come to that. You were like, you know, you're studying, you become a historian, become a professor, and you say one day, hopefully, Hellman's will get me on talkSPORT to talk about the origins of a sandwich. I presume this is the zenith of everything you've aimed to achieve, David.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all roads have been leading to this moment.
Yes, that's it.
This is finally.
But everything is history, right?
Exactly.
Everything is history.
Well, in some ways, that's the point. I think, I mean, you know, I'm probably best known for House Through Time as well as Traitors. And that is a series about the history within houses. I think there's a history in absolutely everything in our lives. And if you go digging, there are amazing stories. And the story of the sandwich, believe it or not, I think it's absolutely fascinating.
Is the origin story that we all hear, is that the truth? Or has that been, been changed in history
well, you
to
can always
be more glamorous?
Yeah, you can always tell if a story is myth or reality by when it's just too good, it's going to be a myth.
Yeah.
That story is the story that in 1762, the 4th Earl of Sandwich was at a table with his mates. He was gambling, he was drinking, and he was winning, clearly, because he didn't want to get up and go and have some dinner. So he said to his servant, bring me some meat in 2 slices of bread. Now, something like that happened because 8 years later, a French journalist was in London writing a book about what the English were like. And he said, everyone's eating this food, which is 2 slices of bread and some meat, and it's called a sandwich. So it was definitely named after the 4th Earl of Sandwich. But the problem with that origin story is we have to imagine that nobody throughout the centuries and the millennia before that ever looked at a bit of meat and 2 slices of bread and thought, you know what?
This guy's a genius.
I think it wasn't a drunk Earl. at the gambling table who cracked that code. I think just perhaps it existed before.
I reckon.
But the good thing is that the fun thing is that someone must have had the first sandwich.
I did that.
Imagine
when they heard, that guy's nicked my bit.
moves from the tartine, moves from the
but
open
he
sandwich
wasn't
to
an earl,
closing
and he
it.
didn't have a cool name.
Exactly,
The thing we absolutely do know is the sandwich is named after the fourth earl, and the fourth earl is named after this beautiful, tiny little town in Kent, Sandwich. So what you have is just about arguably the number one takeaway food in the world. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions eaten every day, named after a town that many people haven't actually heard of. So what we're trying to do is get Sandwich, it's already on the menu. Let's put it back on the map as well. It's an amazing little place.
Yeah, I think they play the British Open there. Is there a good golf course there? Am I right, Max, thinking they play the golf in Sandwich in Kent? I'm going to Google that while you ask a proper question, Matt.
I don't know. Is it?
Carry on.
History of sandwiches I can do. Golf, I'm a bit shaky on.
When do they do the Sandwich Open? I'm not sure.
They do,
they do the open
I'm Googling it. The open sandwich.
Do you know what?
Of course, that's a whole other thing. The club sandwich.
Of course it is. Well, David, what I want to know is how many questions do I have to ask about Sandwich before I can move on to other questions about other things?
Let's mix it up. But I just want to say about sandwiches. What we've been doing is me and Annie Gray, the food historian, and Ben Lipper, the brilliant chef. We've been trying to work out how to recreate that first sandwich. All it said was that it was meat. Didn't say what meat.
Sort of meat, mixed meat.
Yeah, so we've been trying to work out.
Suckling pig. I'm thinking a suckling pig at that.
It's the 18th century. It's England. It's got to be beef.
It's got to be beef.
Beef was at the centre of kind of English identity. Beef ale being at war with France. That was
gambling in. Would they have had beef lying around?
Well, it was the number one meat, and it was he's an earl. He's got some money. It's not going to be sort of like bargain basement beef. So we've chosen beef. And then Ben had this kind of crazy, kind of brilliant moment of genius and inspiration, which is we were telling him about the other foods that are popular in the 18th century. And what he's done is he's taken what our ancestors called plum pudding.
Okay.
Right.
It's what we call Christmas
different,
pudding.
isn't it?
Christmas pudding.
Yeah. They didn't. They ate it all year round. They weren't crazy enough just to wait till Christmas.
Must have been enormous.
It's not even made of plums. It's made of it's made of raisins.
Mixed fruit.
And we've used that like the way you use like a pickle in a ploughman.
Oh, nice.
So it's roast beef, Kentish cob bread, Hellman's mayonnaise, and plum pudding.
And if they had Hellman's.
They didn't have Hellman's. Didn't have mayonnaise.
That feels a little bit.
Hellman's are trying to say that they created. Jeff Hellman was sitting with the Earl of Sandwich and
just sat to his left.
I've got some eggs.
Yes, and bring me the same, but with some mayonnaise. What's mayonnaise, Jeff? Well,
don't know.
Go and invent
do you like eggs?
Actually, burger sauce. They were saying actually, it was
get in the
burger
kitchen and
sauce was
invent
around.
mayonnaise.
Exactly. Now this is quite a gear change, David. But this is Talk Sport, and people may have heard your Desert Island Discs where you talked about being at the same school as Gaza.
That's right.
But most stories about Gaza are about, this was sort of jokes and larks and whatever. But you'd moved from Nigeria, hadn't you? And you'd suffered extraordinary racism, actually. And at one point in the school playground, Gaza sort of came to your aid. It's an extraordinary coincidence.
Yeah, I went to a school called Brighton Avenue. Me and my older sister Yinka went to that school. We were the only black kids, and Gaza was in my sister's class. And we got the class photo, and there's my little sister, my older sister, and there's Gaza. And I've only got one strong memory of Gaza, and this is the 70s. This is the northeast. England was a bit of a different country.
Yeah.
I'd been kind of hit and knocked over, and this kid kind of came and pushed away the kid who was hitting me, and then put his hand down and picked me up. And I remember him because he had very, very blue eyes. Obviously, I'm Nigerian. All my family got dark eyes. Very struck by his blue eyes. And he was in my sister's class. My sister was kind of helping him with his homework, and they were mates. And it was Gaza. And, the politics of a 1970s playground in, Gateshead, being mates with the two black kids is probably not the best way to get on. But he didn't care. He was the coolest kid. He was the kid who could play football, obviously, and he was lovely to me and my sister.
Did you always know that was Gaza, or did you put two and two together?
No, when he became famous, we grew
Yeah.
up in Newcastle. He was at Wallsend Boys Club. Then he was at at the Newcastle Apprentice. So yeah, I kind of put two and two together. My sister was always talking about that's Paul from school.
Great story.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. And like you've done stuff with Brentford, I think, about diversity, haven't you? And
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, now, it is a different place compared to the 70s. But we see a lot within football, especially like the growth of racism on social media, like massively. Any player who is not white does anything on a football pitch, good or bad, will suffer racist abuse on social media. And I suppose the fear is, and, we can see around the world a lot of, prominent politicians espousing pretty racist policies. The fear is that we end up going back to something like the 70s. I don't know if that is too big a stretch. I wasn't there in the 70s to know. I don't know if you fear that or you just think it's different.
Well, I think because football is such a big part of life, any change in society is reflected in football. And we are seeing ideas and statements that people wouldn't have made 5 years ago, 10 years ago, being made by politicians, being made in newspapers. So it's inevitable that they find their way into football. I mean, I think this country's done an astonishing job, and the FA has done an astonishing job in the Premier League in kicking racism out of football. I was at St James's Park a couple of weekends ago for the derby, and I didn't want to go when I was a kid. When I was a kid, being in Newcastle when the team was playing at home and not being white was really uncomfortable. And there was problems in that match, but the authorities are on the side of people who don't want racism in the game. When I think about Gareth Southgate's England team,
yes,
and I think, in some ways the best statement, the most powerful essay about what it means to be English of my lifetime was written by the England manager. Someone had told me in the 70s I would look to the England team as the example of diversity, and the England manager would write a beautiful, eloquent essay about patriotism and diversity. I would have thought they were crazy. So I think a lot has gone right. A lot of really committed people have changed the game. But, these things exist in our society, therefore they're going to exist in football.
And finally, just to completely go left field again on the celebrity traitors, right? When you're watching traitors, you are watching it going, you're all morons.
Yeah.
And stop saying, I've just got a feeling the way you looked at Anne at breakfast is traitorous behaviour. But when you're in it, are you just going mad? Like, it's just...
You're a very kind man. I can feel
like,
you're a very kind man, David. You were too kind on it.
Well, no, the problem is when I'm watching it, I'm doing exactly what you say.
Yeah.
I'm going, it's obvious. What's wrong with you people? And then you're in there and you haven't got a clue. And then you start making up theory. So you start misreading body language, and that, the way, as you said, the way someone ate breakfast or the way someone kind of interacted with somebody else becomes kind of traitorous behavior. And you are kind of in this forest of mirrors just kind of lashing out. I mean, we were just terrible. But I think,
great entertainment.
But that's the point. What people love about this game is it's human ineptitude, and I'd like to think we over-delivered in celebrity.
The Royal St George's Golf Club is a golf club located in Sandwich, Kent, in England, and they are on the Open Championship.
Imagine how good their sandwich bar is.
Imagine that. Yeah,
exactly. Well, look, David, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We covered a lot of stuff. And good luck with your next sandwich, wherever and whatever it may be.
Well, it's going to be a sandwich in Kent, obviously.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, covered in mayonnaise. The mayonnaise from the 1620s. David Olusoga there. It's Max and Charlie, a bit late for the news. That'll be on in just a second.
What did bringing Mo Salah back in the fold do for Arne Slot? Nothing.
Yeah. But Danny, off the back of Slot winning in his first season, you've called this season a catastrophe. So you're not giving Slot much latitude.
Oh, well, I did do for quite a while because of the circumstances around everything that's gone on. We've talked about them multiple times, with the players leaving, the Jota situation, all those things. But it's digressed. It's not got better over time. Deteriorated.
To go to Simon's point, then why not trust Slot totally and wholly going forward?
Because I think the majority of Liverpool fans feel that the level of performance and the amount of times where they're losing games, 17 losses is a ridiculous amount for Liverpool Football Club. And the level of performance has dropped off so much that they think it's too risky to leave him in charge and it get even worse.
Yeah.
And because of this disappointment in the new signings that he was a part of, apparently, we think he is, would you then go again with another 250 or whatever they're going to spend with the same people in charge? The argument is, whoever you bring in, are they going to be dictated to a degree, by Richard Hughes, by Michael Edwards? I don't know, because I'm not there to listen to the industry. My feeling is, and it always has been, is that Slot's say on some of these signings was minimal.
It must be. I mean, I suppose the answer is always superseded by who you replace him with.
Yeah.
When I keep on listening to this nonsense, this immature nonsense about bringing Stephen Gerrard in. On what basis? You saw, with all respect to his mate, you saw him at Aston Villa. He couldn't do it. And the other fella walked through the door and turned the light on.
Some big games in the Championship last night, weren't they? Massive win for Southampton. Ipswich lost, and Southampton could catch Ipswich. It's an unbelievable run for them. Adrian Clark will join us. Can do a bit of Arsenal with him as well. It's Max Rushden Charlie Baker. A little bit late for the sports headlines. My apologies. Here's Fletch.
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon. Liverpool fans, do you trust Arne Slot to rebuild the squad after what will be a trophyless season?
This season's been a catastrophe, and although I did defend him a little bit before, he is part of that team and process that brought these players in and allowed 10 to go to bring 5 in. The amount of money now that's needed again they shouldn't be in that position based on what they've already done.
Former Red talkSPORT's Danny Murphy there. Some are calling for Steven Gerrard to return to Anfield. What does talkSPORT's Simon Jordan make of that?
When I keep on listening to this nonsense, this immature nonsense about bringing Stephen Gerrard in. On what basis? You saw, with all respect to his mate, you saw him at Aston Villa. He couldn't do it. And the other fella walked through the door and turned the light on.
This, as it's emerged, Hugo Ekitike set for 9 months on the sidelines with a ruptured Achilles. 2 men have been handed 3-year banning orders for breaching new tailgating laws. Legislation on fans without tickets gaining unauthorised entry to games in England and Wales came into effect at the Carabao Cup final. A 3rd man is due in court next month. On to tonight's action, Arsenal will look to get their rapidly derailing season back on track at home to Sporting Lisbon. Can the visitors overturn their hosts? Here's former Sporting boss Carlos Carvalhal.
I believe that one of the weak points of the Arsenal is not when you try to play inside the team, but when you play to the sides. When you play to the sides, they have some problems, special with the fullbacks. This is, in my opinion, the weak point of the Arsenal, and I think Sporting can explore.
Build up to our live Champions League commentary gets underway at 7 here on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
The PM's hit back at criticism he's not spending enough on defence, and the Health Secretary's promising an overhaul to how women receive treatment in the NHS. More from Sinead at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this spring at a time that suits you best, from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Rain and showers moving east across the country. Showers heavy at times, warmer in the sunnier spells later on, but it is staying breezy.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4. Yeah, that's what this is.
That's what it is. I wonder what this
brought
was.
you yeah, no, it's quite good. It's brought to you in partnership with Toolstation. Check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation. Let's do some EFL, perhaps a bit of Arsenal too, with former Arsenal midfielder, but EFL expert Adrian Clark. Clark, are you okay?
Yeah, good afternoon, lads.
EFL is exciting. It's been a really good season, I think, every single division.
Well, yeah, it kind of always is, Charlie, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of excitement going on in the Championship. I mean, depending on which team you support, of course, not quite as exciting for Leicester City fans at the moment at the bottom end. But yeah, look, Southampton's charge up the table has absolutely thrown everything into chaos. And there's now a very real prospect that this Saints side that basically were in and around the relegation zone earlier on in the season, spent the entire first half of the season in the bottom half of the table. There's a very real chance they're going to sneak in to second spot. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, because they play Ipswich, don't they? So Ipswich lost last night to Portsmouth. They beat Blackburn. That's implications at both ends of the table. But that, because you looked at it at the weekend, you thought, Ipswich have, they've got 2 games in hand, right? And we're all so stupid when we look at the league table that games in hand automatically equal wins. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're bottom of the league, top of the league, you're like, well, that's 9 points. You're like, well, this is ridiculous. And that, I mean, the run from Southampton, I was thinking about this, obviously, because everything comes back to Tottenham getting relegated and thinking, I think the number of wins that Southampton have had since January on Tottenham's record would take them about 6 years, if not longer, to do, because that run has been, and it includes beating Arsenal, who's winning away at Coventry as well.
Mm. Yeah, in the league alone, I think that with the 15 unbeaten, they've won 12 of those. So if you're going to win 12 games, draw 3 and lose none, you're going to climb the table, aren't you? So, yeah, look, they've done brilliantly. Tonder Eckert, the manager, he was the 21s coach, wasn't he? So, none of us had really heard of him before, but he's come in, he's given the players a lot of belief. He's definitely made them more attack-minded, and he's sort of unleashed them. And they made some good signings in January, and yeah, they are the team to stop at the moment. And I don't know if anyone can stop them. It's probably between them and Ipswich. And as you said, they play each other in the second last game of the season, so that is one to put a date in your diaries for. But yeah, it was a great night for Pompey as well, wasn't it? Last night,
yeah, that's great for them. Yeah,
no one saw that. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. I thought that Pompey's home form has been really poor, and they turned it on. They turned in their best performance probably at home all season. Colby Bishop got a goal, and he's not got many of those lately. So Pompey now are probably one ahead of that game. Genuine fears that they're going to go down. Now, possibly just one win away from survival, and they got 4 games to do it.
Is there any update on the West Brom situation, Clarky? Because I know they're possibly due a points deduction like Leicester City got. I'm assuming Oxford fans will be mainly interested in what's going to happen at West Brom.
Definitely, yeah, and Leicester, although Leicester look a little bit adrift at the moment, don't they?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. Is the honest answer for me? If it's just been discovered, then given how long it takes everybody, other clubs to have their issues.
Any clubs you want to say, Clarky? Any clubs you want to mention? Any specific number
No,
of judges?
not particularly, but I think we all know.
My understanding is, and I might be wrong, that they have to get it done this season, although that doesn't mean before the end of the season, right? The way it works with the year that
it's before the fixtures come out for next season. That's the official cut-off at the end of the season. I just think it's incredibly unfair to just find it out right now with 4 games to go and then have it docked. But I'm not really aware of precedents where things have been dealt with so quickly. It feels to me as if every time there is this alleged breach, it seems to take months and months and months, in some cases, in some clubs, years, to get on top of that and to dish out those punishments.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think we intrinsically as fans don't feel points deductions are fair for this, but then if you are a club that hasn't breached PSR and you go, well, look, we knew these things and we didn't do these things, without knowing if West Brom have done it or not, I don't know. But,
exactly.
we want it to be done on
Leicester find themselves in that pickle because of it. And, Yeah, they're in real trouble.
And what I'm about to say is not meant to be in any way aggressive towards a certain set of fans.
This is exciting, Charlie.
Or trying to wind anybody up. I am genuinely interested here, Clarky.
Okay.
Do you think that the League One promotion playoffs have, because they got the extra cherry on top, that they might be playing Spurs next season, is going to be even more keenly fought?
Keenly contested.
Stevenage is the one. Stevenage is about the same size as Torquay, and obviously we are in the National League South.
I mean, I'd love to see it. I mean,
Stevenage are doing so well.
Player.
For Stevenage to be playing Spurs in the league.
Yeah. Wow. I played there in the National League for them. Loved it. Great club. Spurs have actually used Broadhall Way or Lamex Stadium for their reserve games over the years. I don't know if they still are. So, it would be bizarre, wouldn't it? But look, the way it's going for Tottenham, I think, Max, it's time you sort of just put Tottenham to one side and concentrate on Cambridge, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're winning, aren't they? They're doing well.
I get yelled. Do you know what? I get yelled at all the time. Like, these two things are mutually exclusive, and I'm, basically it's all pain. But we had such a good result because we hammered Notts County 4-0, and it was just like, the relief of that after dropping 4 points in 2 games with 2 last-minute equalisers. But we are third, 77 points. MK Dons 79. Bromley 83, Notts County breathing down our neck on 76. But we go to Bromley on Thursday night, and Bromley lost to MK Dons, if everyone's following us. And so that Thursday night is enormous, Clarky.
Absolutely massive. Yeah, look, Cambridge, I think they kind of deserve promotion. They've been there or thereabouts most of the season. A word on Barrow before we move on to Arsenal. Last night they were in a game that if they'd have lost it, they would have been heavy odds on to fall out of the EFL and back into the National League. And they were 1-0 down with 8 minutes to go, and it ended up 3-2 to Barrow. It was quite extraordinary. It topsy-turvy, flip-flopped. Barrow were leading, then they got pulled back, and they ended up getting a late injury time winner. And now Barrow are not safe, but they've drawn in 3 other clubs, Crawley, Tranmere and Newport, and it's basically a shootout now between now and the end of the season between those teams.
God, agony. Tonight, are you optimistic? Do you have the fire as Arteta does?
Oh dear. Well, it's not really about me having fire or Mikel having fire. It's about the players, isn't it? I want to see a little bit more fire from the players. We didn't really see that against Bournemouth. It was a strange, sort of subdued performance, a little bit like the League Cup final, which was a real off day. And I want to see fire from the players. I really do, and they have to, because it's the season is in danger of collapsing, isn't it? So this is a huge couple of games. Am I confident? I'm confident that Arsenal can get through tonight. I'm not particularly confident of a thrilling performance because we haven't seen that many of those lately. I'm confident they can get through, but then you've got the game at City. And on that, look, I can't sit here and say that I'm confident, given City's brilliant form and Arsenal's relatively poor form, that we can go there and win. But if the players are capable, they've been, for a lot of this season, Arsenal have been one of, if not the best side on the planet.
Yeah.
In the here and now, they're not. But if they get back to the form that we know they're capable of, they can go there and win. But they would have to be more aggressive, more assertive, and a bit more daring. In those big games this season, Arsenal have been too cautious, and it hasn't worked. So I'd like to see something a little bit different from Arsenal on Sunday.
To dare is to do. That's what Tottenham do, and that's why they're doing so well.
That's why they're up there.
Do you know what, Clarky? I really feel this about Arteta, right? And I mean, they aren't the most scintillating team in the world, and that's fine. You don't have to be. I just think that the idea that he comes second and they don't win the Champions League and he gets sacked. And I look at this from a Tottenham point of view, and okay, they're different clubs, and I don't think Arsenal would ever be where Tottenham are, but no one would think Tottenham would be here. That just if you sack Arteta, the next one that comes in doesn't necessarily make you 10% better. It doesn't necessarily get you over the line. It actually could make it 40% worse. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. I know that Arteta has to, if he doesn't win anything this season, I can understand the questions because he's won one FA Cup in all his time. But he has turned this team, however they're playing, into a really, really brilliant football team. And it's so easy to go sack him, get someone else, you win the league. It doesn't work like that.
No, he doesn't, and he's the reason really that Arsenal have gone from being also round, really, weren't they? Sort of finishing 5th, 6th, 7th a few years ago to being the force that they've been the last 3 or 4 years. So, you know, he is a superb manager, but my fear is that will his energy go? You know, will that sort of flame fizzle out if Arsenal don't win anything this season, having sort of got so close? You know, will he be able to go again? We'll have to, and will the group be able to go again? Because we've seen that they've been able to sort of recover from the disappointment of finishing second and then play brilliantly in the following season and almost get there. We've seen that pattern repeated. Can the players keep doing that, or will the group break up? And that's my fear. But I'm still glass half full. I still believe in the team, and I still think that Arsenal can get their hands on one of these big trophies this season, but it might not be pretty because they're just not playing that kind of football at the moment.
No, you're right. Cheers, Clarky. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Clarky.
See you later.
Adrian Clark there, EFL expert, former Arsenal midfielder. Now, talkSPORT understands. We understand something. Jose has admirers amongst the Newcastle hierarchy. Oh, come on. If they part company with Eddie Howe, their owners are believed to be attracted to the idea of appointing a big name in the event Howe departs. Roberto Mancini, another possibility. Apparently, Andoni Iraola would be open to a move to St James's Park should the vacancy arrive. Now, if I am a Newcastle fan and I have the choice of Mancini, Mourinho or Iraola, I am giving Iraola everything he could possibly want in the whole world.
But Eddie Howe and Iraola could swap, couldn't they? You can see Eddie Howe ending up at Bournemouth. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? He's got a bit of unfinished business there, I think.
He's probably got a place down there.
Probably, you know, they could just swap jobs.
I think Iraola could do, with due respect to Newcastle, I think he could get a bigger job than that.
Thomas Glasner at Newcastle.
You reckon Thomas?
Maybe.
Yeah. What about Tom?
I said it on purpose that time.
Yeah, I know you did. Do you think Thomas? I don't know. I think maybe Thomas De Zerbi will leave Tottenham if they go down. Maybe Thomas Klopp will come back in.
I've never known so many Thomases in football.
No, I know, isn't it? Anyway, it's Max and Charlie with you until 4.
Who's your favourite Thomas?
We'll do a bit more.
81089.
Who's your favourite? Clear well. Do you know who it is? I'll tell you. I've got one right there. Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yes.
It's Max and Charlie here until 4.
Not even got kids.
Do you think Arteta's too pragmatic, Simon? Is this going to be the difference as to who ends up winning it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he says to the players in the dressing room, but clearly I do think the coach's responsibility is if he's not actually kicking a ball, it's his responsibility to set the players up mentally and structurally to be able to do it in a fashion that produces the best outcome. And I use the word navigate at the beginning of this section because that's what I think Arsenal are trying to do. They're trying to navigate their way through games, not impose themselves on games, not take control of the game, not to be bold, not to be fearsome, fearless. Sorry, in their and their reaction to circumstances. Now, when they went away to Sporting, it was the perfect time to not be bold because they were trying to manage a European game, and they got praise from me last week, and people criticised them because it was considered to be a workmanlike performance. But a 1-0 away result in a European game is a good result. Now they'll bounce back tomorrow or Wednesday whenever they're playing against Sporting. and produce an outcome again. I think everything will be revealed on Sunday when they play Manchester City.
Do you think they'll be bold then when they play City?
Oh no, they won't be daft. No. They'll do what they normally do. The question is, if Arsenal were 3 or 6 points behind City when they played Bournemouth at home at the weekend, what would they have done different? They would have committed. They'd have played quicker, more urgency. They would have got more men forward earlier in the game. They would have gone after them.
Feels like Arsenal have something to lose rather than something to win.
Well, it's a bit like Rory with a six-shot lead, wasn't it?
Yes.
That dwindled on day 3.
Yeah. So
And it
that begs the
dwindled 'cause
question
he's
then,
protecting.
who are Arsenal's biggest opponents in this title race? Manchester City or themselves?
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden Charlie Baker with you until 4. Now, this is very important. Charlie and I are piloting a brand new quiz, and it's called Wheelie Good Footballers, isn't it, Charlie?
Currently called that, until we can come up with a better name.
Are you not sure?
Not sure about the name. I'm very sure about the quiz. Not sure about the name.
Quiz is excellent. We could call it the Wheel of Football. I think that could.
Wheel Madrid. Wheel Madrid, but the Wheel of Football is good, yeah.
Anyway, what we need is 2 callers to take part in the inaugural game of the Wheel of Football. And you could be, people will remember you, like you will be making history. And we need 2 of you to play at 3:45.
We need a couple of the really good, exciting, not exciting, but good callers, who are interesting, upbeat, up for a laugh, not just like one-word merchants or like angry. We're not interested in those.
If somebody's playing this game and they're angry, I would be surprised. But you can come with any mood you want to be.
Okay, all right. I've tried to narrow it down, but no. Anyway,
okay, but,
we'll take anyone.
Upbeat is probably better. 03717 223344. If you would like to take we need 2 of you to take part in the inaugural The Wheel of Football.
You need to know the name of 5 footballers.
You need to know the name of 5 footballers. So if you know 5 footballers, not personally, you just know their names, and you have some awareness of who they are and what they do. That's all you need. 03717 223344. You'd be like a pioneer, a broadcasting become a broadcasting pioneer. 03717 223344. The phone lines are going absolutely crazy. 03717 223344. I do think, Charlie, that every show needs, and we haven't really done it in detail, needs to talk about Tottenham being relegated for at least 2 minutes. Because it's a
bit sad, isn't it? It's a bit sad. I think it is. I was a naysayer. I was like, I think they're going to be fine. They'll be fine. They'll get out of it. But I can't see how they get out of it now. I don't think they've got the players. I don't think they've got I think Roberto De Zerbi is now found out what he needs to do is pretty impossible. And I don't think the fans are helping either.
But Leeds winning
that was bad.
It's just that, oh no, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, why can't a Tottenham player have long hair and you can pull his hair? Why can De Zerbi get Solanke to grow his hair really quickly? Who can we get up front? I mean, it's just, and then on the weekend, not only do Brighton go to Spurs, so a lot of motivation to beat De Zerbi, of course. Leeds play Wolves, Forest play Burnley, and you're like, oh man, okay, so they could be Leeds could be 9 points clear. Like Tottenham haven't won a game in 4 months.
Leeds need one more win. I think they're safe. You know, they're on 39 or 39 or.
Yes, I think you're right, and you would imagine Forest will beat Burnley at home. Right, imagine that. So then it is now a shootout between West Ham, who are showing really decent form. They go to Palace. That's not easy. But here's another thing. And Barry Glendenning made this point. Barry made this point.
Oh, yeah.
The other teams are invested in Spurs getting relegated. Like I'm not saying Palace aren't going to give it a go against West Ham, but I think teams are like, yeah, let's relegate Tottenham. They're in the dressing room going, let's relegate Tottenham. And there is no, you saw Paul chatting to Andy the other day, they're just absolutely bereft of confidence, these players, who are quite good, but they've got no creative.
But it's like the ball, every single ball they try and put in the box goes like in row Z, or the balls in the box are all absolutely dreadful. Forest have got Chris Woods back as well, and he hasn't scored his 12 goals yet this season. And so
he's going to score 12.
He's going to score like 12
games.
He will score 3-4 goals by the end of the season, won't he? He will.
I mean, and obviously it's a disaster. I think the match-going fans will have quite a good time in the Championship. But I think, the TV Tottenham fans like me will be like, oh no, not on Match of the Day. Imagine not being on Match of the Day.
You have to stay up late for the Ensley League Extra. Is that what it is now? Is it still the Ensley League Extra?
What it is.
On at
is
midnight?
It not Manish in an airport hangar doing that? I can't. That's
not on Match of the Day. That is the thing. Not Super Sunday. Your games being Friday night or Saturday at like midday.
Oh my goodness!
At least when the games are.
That is true, isn't it? Anyway, you can if you want to watch Al Nassr.
They might enjoy it.
They might come 11th. Al Nassr FC versus El Ettifaq club in the Saudi League, live with talkSPORT for free on our YouTube channel tonight at 7 p.m. If you want to. You can listen to Champions League commentary on talkSPORT, of course, commentary of Arsenal versus Sporting. This is, I speak on behalf of Palace. We want Forest to go down. No two ways about it. Oh, yeah, of course you do. But still, please beat West Ham. Please.
I think West Ham are safe. I think West Ham are safe. They seem to have got some energy from somewhere.
They're not safe. They've got tricky fixtures, West Ham. But God, it's so bleak.
But if De Zerbi playing Brighton, look, these are the sort of things that football throw up, isn't it? You go, okay,
we need
De Zerbi
to
at
go
Brighton. That's something going for Spurs there. That's like okay.
Do you think it's good for Spurs?
Well, it is because De Zerbi. De Zerbi could get his first win for Spurs against his old club, Yeah,
but his old club could try and beat him. Like, that's also a narrative. Anyway.
I think they will try and beat him.
Also, the pleasure it will give every other football fan if Tottenham get relegated.
If Arsenal don't win the league and Spurs go down.
Yeah. Literally the joy.
That's quite a lot of fun for anyone outside of North London.
It is. Anyway, it is Rushden Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation. John Joe Shelby's announced his retirement and he's going into management. He's going to manage in the UAE in the second division, and we'll chat to him in just a second.
Wow. Well, just when Liverpool fans were in a state of depression somewhat after going out of the Champions League last night, the news has got even worse in the last 10 to 15 minutes, because it's our understanding here at talkSPORT, Hugo Ekitike faces 9 months out. He ruptured his Achilles tendon in the game last night against PSG at Anfield. He will now also miss the World Cup. So Ekitike is out. All of a sudden, there's a lot more emphasis going forward on Alexander Isak. And of course, bear in mind, Mo Salah is going at the end of the season as well. So it adds up to an awful lot of recalculation for the people running the club and for Arne Slot. Arne Slot coming in for it a bit as well. Simon and Danny alongside me this morning. Many messages coming in. We're going to take your calls 03717 223344 from 10:30 onwards. But there is one message, and it's not all that complimentary to Arne. Let's not use this half-good performance to gloss over the fact that Slot has turned a very good Liverpool squad into one of our poorest teams in many years. Slot's signings have been a disaster, and our whole season was thrown off course by the insane chasing to sign Isak, an injury-prone, overrated average striker, when we were desperate for a defender. Now, that's a Liverpool fan, Danny, who is laying it on thick this morning. Has he got a point?
Well, the thing is, Isak has struggled with injuries over the years. He only had one real full season for Newcastle where it wasn't interrupted.
Hugo Ekitike could be out for 9 months with an Achilles injury. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy says it's a huge blow for him, especially ahead of the World Cup.
There was talk that he'd edged his way into the 11 for France. He'd played in the last game, him, Mbappe and I think maybe Dembele. But the reality is this is part of football, and I've devastated for him because he's on such a good run, a good trajectory.
Slot played Ekitike on the right with an out-of-sorts Isak up front in the defeat to PSG. Former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool will have to go big again in the summer window.
There's a part of me that thinks that. I mean, obviously, I read between the lines and hear journalists talking about the fact that Liverpool's ownership are not entertaining that idea at this moment in time and wanting to see, to maintain the support of him because of the credit in the bank that he's got for last year.
Now, Man City are believed to have joined the race to sign the next academy prospect from Palmeiras in Brazil. PSG, Chelsea and Barcelona are also keen on the 16-year-old Eduardo Conceição, who's currently tearing up South America's Under-17 Championship. And Ben Stokes has admitted that he's lucky to be alive.
A couple inches one way or the other. Might not be here doing this interview. Yeah, copped one straight in the face. Pretty nasty, but funnily, probably the best result of a bad situation, to be honest.
This, as it's emerged, Bryden Cast could be a doubt for the start of England's summer campaign. England face New Zealand on June the 4th. Plenty to see on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube.
Terry in Portsmouth says, I've already told my son that if Spurs go down, it'll be a better day than when he was born. My son just looked at me and said, yes, I agree. Wow. Well, look, I mean, that's what it's football about, isn't it? It's my pain is everyone else's joy. Yeah.
And it's not for it won't be forever, will they come back up eventually? Imagine that day. Imagine that day, the day they come back up. Imagine that day, the joy.
Hey, still got a chance. Anyway, let's talk to John Joe Shelby, who has been playing out in UAE this season and has decided to retire. Yesterday, he retired as a player and has become a manager straight away with second division side Arabian Falcons FC. And he joined us now. Hey, John Joe.
Hey, John Joe.
Hello, mate. You okay?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
The
Thanks
gaffer.
for joining us. The gaffer now. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's good. Sort of known about it for a few weeks, but yeah, just enjoying it, enjoying being on the training ground, delivering the sessions and the planning behind it. Surrounded myself with some good coaching staff, and a guy brought in from Everton called Leighton McKay Ellison, Ryan Dakil, and a fella called Grant Collins, and it's going well.
So from like the moment you retire, so did you literally just put your boots away and go, right, that's it, not kicking a ball now, I'm just straight into management straight away?
No, the former manager actually went away for a bit and sort of asked me to take care of the team in terms of like the training, etc., and ended up getting good feedback. And then the owners sort of approached me and just said, would I be interested in taking the job? And the former manager was going to go upstairs anyway into a sporting director role. So it sort of happened organically. I mean, I'd been doing my badges for a while now, so it's sort of been hand in hand. And to be honest, my body's not what it used to be like in terms of recovering after a game and stuff like that. So I just play Monday nights now with the lads on a.
Oh, that's good. You can eat what you want. You can drink what you want. This is perfect.
Imagine you're playing Monday night and John Joe Shelby turns up though, Max. It's an absolute nightmare.
I know.
The good
Just
thing
sitting
about
at the
it,
base of
I'm
midfield.
knocking it past like 45-year-old men and running around the other side of them, which I've never been able to do in my life.
Do you know what? It's a different level, John Joe, but I was playing, proper football. And then I went to join the vets and thought I'll be brilliant. And I was slower than everyone else in that one as well. And I was like, oh, this is a real blow. Is it difficult? Because you obviously, you hear about this transition sometimes. You're a player and you're in the dressing room and suddenly you're the manager and the players know you as a player. How do you, how will you or how have you found that transition?
I found it quite easy, to be fair, because I was originally the captain of the club. The players are quite young. A lot of African players are quite raw. They watched the Premier League, so they sort of knew who I was when I joined, and I've always had high demands and high standards. So I sort of brought that to the club anyway, and I think them seeing me take over training over the past 3 to 4 weeks has sort of helped make that transition a bit easier, if you like.
So one of the owners of the club is Jason Punchin. Does having someone like Jason around help with that transition at all, John Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have Punch in your corner because he's been in that position himself when he went to Cyprus and managed out there and won the league. So if I need advice or whatever it may be, I can always just pick up the phone and give him a call. And to be fair to him, he's been spot on ever since I got the role.
Now, you're obviously a cultured player, John Joe, but are you going 4-4-2, get it launched?
Oh, yeah,
are you going to, what is Shelby
Lock it
ball?
up at the back, yeah.
I've took a sort of a bit from each manager that I've sort of really enjoyed working under and tried to add my own sort of stamp on it, if you like. I've had an office built in my house, and I literally live in this office just looking at reviewing training, preparing training, and honestly, I moved out here to spend more time with my kids, and I've sort of not ended up spending any more time with them.
The moment you spend a bit of time with the kids, you think, I really must get back to that office.
Correct.
So which of those, so which of those managers then, what bits are you taking from what managers?
Majority of my work has probably been taken from Eddie Howe in terms of his detail and his his philosophy. I really enjoyed working under him, how detailed he is as a coach and how he speaks to his players. Michael Laudrup, I've took a bit from in terms of his attacking play, and he's quite a laid-back character around the training ground as well. So I feel that that's a good trait to have. And then the motivational side I've probably took from Scott Parker. I thought he was one of the best motivational speakers that I've ever come across in football, which surprised me, to be fair, because he was quite a quiet player when he was playing, but when he was behind the scenes at Burnley, he was a real leader.
It's interesting you mentioned Eddie Howe there, because he's under a bit of pressure now, and Newcastle haven't had a brilliant season. Recruitment hasn't quite worked out. Presumably, you liked working for him. It's unlikely you're going to say now, yeah, I think they should get rid of him. But what do you make, or do you think they would be mad to get rid of Eddie Howe?
I can see both sides of the story in terms of why the fans probably want to change, but he's obviously won the cup. I think that should deserve some sort of credit in the bank, if you like. But you can see the other side of it. But for me, if I was in charge of Newcastle in terms of the board, I would keep hold of him because he will turn things around and he's a top manager.
Same question about Arne Slot, because obviously you played at Liverpool for, you're there for 3 years or something. Do you think he should get the boot?
I don't really watch a lot of Liverpool, to be honest with you. Just to the sheer fact that a lot of their games sometimes are on the same time as Newcastle, but I can't see Slot being there next season in terms of they're losing a few big players as well, but they're like a totally different team. I mean, I watched a little bit of the game against PSG away, and I've never seen a Liverpool team set up in that way where they just sit back and let the other team have the ball. For me, playing against Liverpool as a player was always, you're in for an afternoon here, because they're going to be all over you like a rash and pressing, but he's just probably not that style of manager. But then you look back at it from last year and he wins the league for them, do you know what I mean? So it's about catch-22 really. Does he have enough credit or does he not?
And what's your ambition, John Joe?
To be honest, just for the next year or so, continue to build my hours on the training pitch and ultimately try and get this club to the top league here in Dubai. It's a fantastic club to be at, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity that they've given me. But yeah, just to keep building them hours, make the mistakes that I can make and learn and keep growing, and who knows what the future will hold.
Well, look, good luck. Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
John Joe Shelby there, the new manager of Arabian Falcons in UAE Division 2. Interesting that set up with Jason Punchin there. Yeah. We chatted to him a few times, didn't we?
Spoken to Jason
when he was out in Cyprus. Yeah.
And he won the league. He was about to win the league, wasn't he?
That's it.
Yeah, that was it there.
Yeah.
Ravel Morrison as well, playing for him. So that's,
Also, my wife Jamie, who knows nothing about football, and would occasionally saying, "Why are people on my Instagram calling me, just yelling Jason Puncioni?" And I like that.
We asked him about that. We asked Jason about that when we interviewed him. We said, "How does it feel to be the face of having a prettier wife or husband?"
He loved it, didn't he? It's Max and Charlie. Oh, this is exciting! Now the first ever, the inaugural Wheel of Football,
possibly last. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's true.
honestly, what's happened, mate? What's happened? You lot are finding new ways to disgrace yourselves. Somehow, in the last 2 years, every week you find another way to embarrass yourselves and disgrace yourselves, and you've done it again. I mean, I don't know how you do it, mate. You lot, you are some team. Every week it's the same thing, yet it gets worse. It's worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know what you want to say, mate.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I want to see you lot try and pull yourself away from the championship. Know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? You want to go there. Here's what I'm saying now.
What do you mean?
It's at the end of the night, right? You know, the end of the night when everyone's gone out and loads of beers.
Terrible analogy.
At the end of the night, you say to your mates, I'm not having a kebab on the way home. Right? That's what you say, right? I don't want a kebab. Right? I don't want to disgrace myself. Mate, you want kebab. You are that kebab team.
Yeah.
Every single week. It's not because no, it's not because no one wants to wake up stinking a kebab, and you lot stink a kebab.
Yeah.
You stink a kebab. Fingers next morning. You know that smell? That's what you do. You got stinky fingers next morning.
Yeah.
stink kebab fingers.
Honestly, mate, I just can't deal with you with this mask and this hat and this. Oh, you're killing me.
And welcome to the Wheel of Football.
Yes.
And here's your hosts, Max Rushden and Charlie Baker. And now, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see we actually have a spinning wheel, which is part of the reason why we came up with the Wheel of Football. We have two callers on the line. Rob is a Chelsea fan. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, Rob.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Rob.
Very good. Are you ready to make history, Rob?
I feel honoured.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
good
good stuff. You'll be playing against Ben, the Portsmouth fan. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Hey, guys. You okay?
Yeah, good result last night, Ben.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm on top of the world today, so fingers crossed we can hold on.
Yeah, absolutely right. And honestly, this game could be more exciting than a vital 2-0 win over Ipswich Town. But it also, Ben, just to be clear, it may not. So look, this game is called the Wheel of Football. And what happens is that Rob and Ben will both come up with a footballer, and then we'll spin the wheel and it will have a category. Is that right, Charlie?
There is a category, and some of them are like obvious things like goals or caps.
Well, I wouldn't give away the categories.
Okay, but some are more subjective. That's all I'll say.
Okay, subjective, some category.
And then there'll be a discussion. If it's opinion, then there'll be a discussion. Yeah. Max is the head. We'll all discuss it.
Yeah.
Rob and Ben can discuss it as well. Max, as the head judge, will have the final say, and he can give the point. It's first to three, 5 footballers each.
Here we go. Okay, so first of all, Rob, if you could give us your first footballer.
Any footballer, yeah?
Any footballer.
Any footballer.
Dennis Wise.
Dennis Wise.
Dennis Wise, okay. And Ben, if you could give us a footballer as well, please.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh, he's gone
Dennis
double
Bergkamp versus
Dennis.
This is exciting. Dennis Wise versus Dennis Bergkamp. Charlie, spin the wheel.
Play
Let's
the
find out
music and spin the wheel. It's amazingly landed on number of goals in Korea, which is a very boring start.
It's a win for Dennis Bergkamp. It's 1-0 to Dennis Bergkamp.
Definitely,
so well
definitely
done,
Dennis
Ben,
Bergkamp
the
scored more
Portsmouth
goals.
fan. No discussion there.
No discussion required. Okay.
Okay. Next, so it's sort of, I'd say that's a damp squib of
A damp squib of a start, but there we go. Ben, well, we need to work on the categories. That's all. Ben, you go next.
Ben, give us a footballer.
Robert Prozinecki.
Robert Prozinecki. Okay,
Very
this is
nice.
good stuff. Okay. Rob, you give us a footballer, please.
Gabriel Batistuta.
Lovely.
Okay,
Here we go. We're spinning the wheel. We're spinning the wheel.
Right. Okay.
And as the wheel goes round, what will it land on? It's landed on biggest feet. Who do we think has the biggest feet? Gabriel Batistuta and Robert Prozinecki. Now, I don't know. I feel like Batistuta's got the biggest feet of those two. Ben, what do you think?
I'd agree. Prozinecki was a midfield maestro, wasn't he? So he's going to be light on his feet. So, I'd take the loss on that one.
Rob, are you saying, are you agreeing there?
Yeah, Prozinecki was small, he was tiny. When he Batistuta, he scored enough goals with big feet, I reckon.
Yeah, and he's got a big feet vibe about him, hasn't he?
I think he does.
Big feet, big goals.
Big goals, big feet, big goals. That's what they say, as the saying goes. Max, are you agreeing with that? It's one
I agree
all.
with that. Batistuta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob, we need a
Here we go.
footballer from you. Rob.
Steve Clark.
Steve Clark.
Steve Clark.
I
Okay.
like it.
And Ben.
Sol Campbell.
Steve Clark versus Sol Campbell. Okay, here we go.
We're
Spin
spinning
the wheel. Let's see what the category is. Okay, right.
The category is best cook. Best cook. Who's the best cook out of Steve Clark or Sol Campbell?
I think Sol Campbell will be annoyingly good in the kitchen.
I think he'd be a good chef. Rob, what do you think? Stick up for Steve Clark.
I'm a chef. I'm a chef myself.
Yeah.
And I think Steve Clark would just deep fry everything. He'd have deep fried pizza.
Yeah, this feels race based, but I don't know.
So heart attack waiting to happen, but it depends what you're into.
I bet Sol Campbell's been on Celebrity MasterChef.
Ben, what do you think?
Ben?
No way Steve Clark is a better cook than Sol Campbell. Absolutely not.
Why? What's your basis, Ben?
Beans on toast. Unless it's beans on toast, but absolutely not.
I think Sol Campbell could have been on Celebrity MasterChef. He's the sort of person that could have made, Yeah.
He went out with Kelly Hoppen once. She's an interior designer. She's not going out with someone who can't cook. No way. Sol Campbell.
Yeah, I'm with you on. I'm with you on Sol Campbell.
Okay, so 2-1. 2-1 to Ben.
Okay, so it's 2-1 to Ben. It's first to 3. Okay,
Ben, we need a footballer from you, please.
Nico Cranshaw.
Nico Cranshaw.
Nico Cranshaw.
Yeah.
Nico Cranshaw. Okay, good. Yeah. And Rob, footballer from you, please.
Martin Keown.
Martin
It's
Keown versus
Cranshaw.
Nico
The
Cranshaw. It's a clash of styles, isn't it?
The
Here we
wheel
go.
is spun. The wheel has been spun.
Okay, what's it going to be?
Oh, left foot. It's
Best
landed
left foot.
on left foot. I'm thinking Cranshaw all day.
Martin Keown. It's Cranshaw all day, isn't it? I
All
mean, they're both
day
right foot. In my mind, both right-footed. But I'm not sure Martin Keown could really stand, just about stand on his left foot. Ben, thoughts?
Absolutely. Keown's left foot was for standing on and probably kicking people.
Yeah,
Okay, Rob?
Rob, you got to stick. You need to win it, otherwise you've lost.
Got to win this because Keown would definitely kick Cranshaw and he'd take him out. So he beat him with his left foot. Yeah, but it'd be with his right foot, though. He'd kick him with his right foot, though. No, he'd go in left-footed. He wouldn't want to injure his good foot. He would never get near him if he tried to kick him with his left foot.
Oh, this is true. Right,
He
okay.
would be all over him.
Max, head judge.
Listen, as a purist with radio quizzes, I'd like it to be 2-2 and go into a decider.
But it can't be, no.
For the pilot. But I don't think it can because I don't think there's a way you could say Martin Keown's left foot is better than Nico
No,
Cranchow's.
look, Ben is just better at the wheel of football than Rob. So that's just
True.
how it goes, isn't it? You know, but we have to finish the quiz though to get it to 3-2. So to whatever it is, yeah. Ben.
No, it's 3-1 then.
It's
Isn't that
3-1. Yeah, it's 3-1. Yeah, sorry, it's 3-1.
It's 3-1, so it's finished.
Yeah.
Quiz is finished.
It's over. Quiz is over. There we are.
Quiz is
Ben,
over.
it's winner stays on. So you're on again next week, if that's okay.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, did you enjoy the quiz? Let's get some direct feedback. Griffin Kings Lynn says, please stop it. But Ben, what did you make of the quiz?
It was one of the greatest honours of my life so far.
There we are. Great news.
I mean, it doesn't say we don't know what type of life he's had. That's the only thing we can say there, Charlie.
You don't want to
Rob,
know.
you lost. Rob, you lost, but do you think we should continue playing the quiz?
Oh, you got to give it at least another go.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
I try and get on again. I try and defend my crown again at some stage.
You're welcome back next week. Second pilot. The replay is next week.
That's really good. Okay, well, it's good we've done it, so no one else can steal it. But I think that's got legs.
It's got
Charlie.
legs. I think we need to work on the categories only being subjective rather than
that's what I
factual.
think.
That's what I think.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm happy to play it again. And I'm happy to play. And once we commit to it a couple of times, there is every chance we play it for 15 years. Thank you, Charlie. I had a nice time.
Thank you, Max.
Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent next with Drive. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Toolstation. This is the Champions tonight on talkSPORT. And Drive is next. Victor Gyökeres, a goal-scoring machine in Portugal. Where's he fitting in at Arsenal?
Well, I will say that the characteristics of Gyökeres in Portugal was very difficult to the Portuguese defenders. You know, Portuguese defenders are more technical. They are not so physical, so strong. They are strong and physical, of course, but not like in England. And the way that Sporting play, he was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because he used too much the deep. I play against them. We block them, but we block them with, especially with our right back, because the movements in Sporting is 90% of the movements was center left. So we block with our right